And now, welcome to Pride and Chaos.
Welcome to the darkest year of our adventures. Oh, yeah!
And now, give it up for Jeremy and Nick.
Now he's Kennedy.
And as usual, Nick is wrong.
Why are you the way that you are? God, I can't stand you.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Whoa, that was cool.
Son of a bitch. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you here tonight live from the Oval Office of the proud New York Jets fans headquarters. And just like the actual Oval Office in America now, nothing's working right because the microphone was fucking muted. My apologies. The previous guy didn't know what he was doing and must have left it in a non-working state. The current guy is leaving it in a non-working state. I would just like to say to you all that I am here for an announcement, unlike any other announcement. For today is a day unlike any other day in our nation's history, where the proud New York Jet fan has officially launched membership tiers for being a member of this illustrious channel. Now I know what you're saying. What does this mean? What would we get? What are these tiers you speak of, oh great one, with fantastic hair and a multicolored beard? Well, I will tell you. The opening tier is called the Shiner tier. And on that level, there will be loyalty badges, priority reply to comments, and member shoutouts. The second tier is a Super Shiner. You will get all the tiers of the first level and connecting on social media through a Discord private chat. You will get members-only polls to decide on current, future guests, topics, and events for the channel, including meetups. You will get members-only live streams, private videos, clothed or unclothed, to be determined. That is up to you in the poll. And a Supreme Shiner who gets to co-host a show and gets exclusive access to me, but not me bum. So I want to thank you. And already, I can't even get through the opening monologue. But I'm very, very grateful that the man who slobs the knob is the first YouTube member. Thank you so much, Mr. Kraft. It is an honor and a privilege to have you as a member of the channel. I cannot wait to see all of the interesting conversations and tactics that happen behind the scenes with you privately. That is what she said. And not only, oh, you get the gift memberships. Look at that. I am unaware of that. I am aware of this. I am here to tell you that I knew about these transactions. And I should have had a cigar. God, I have one upstairs. Oh, man, this is why I need like an in-person. assistant, or is known as an intern in this room. Right about over here, I think. So thank you, Knob. You are appreciated, good sir. Dano has a member for me. I do not doubt. I do not doubt. So thank you, good sir. I appreciate you. Well, let's say hello to who's here. That was tonight's opening rant. And when I sit up, I can't see the green light. It was muted when I started from the angle that I have. I promise you, the first take was better than the second take. That's what she said. Now let's say hello to you, distinguished gentlemen, who are all sitting home, probably naked watching me while I got a sport coat on. Hank G, the notorious winner today. What's up, my friend? Superfan is here waiting. Dano is in the house with his wrench and his steroid-filled arm. Modine was here early. Don't take Bowers. He will be average at best. We are doomed. Doomed, I say. Richie, New York is here. Bowers equals Cole Kmet. Oh, no Bowers love tonight. I put on a jacket that's making me burn up and no love. Knob, hello, sir. I am here. My opening was good. I wish you guys could have heard it before the music played. Damn. I blame Jeremy. Fuckface. What's up, David? How are you, good sir? Wildwave is here. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Howdy, howdy, buddy. I feel like I should be like howdy. It's got like a little cowboy, not Dallas, but like Wyoming look to it with this jacket. What's up, Armand? Welcome. Hey, Dane is right. Smash the like button. And if you have a girl, call her the like button. Smash her too. Oh. Mike Garofalo. All pro. Cornerback Tre'Davious White has visits scheduled with the Rams and Raiders. Yeah, I'm muted. Everyone calm down. I was muted. I'm sorry. I don't know what just happened with that thing. That's what she said. I love that you guys still stayed here while I was muted. I must have been fun to watch. I got to go back and watch that. Daniel Murphy, that's the state of America. It's not always working in the right way. Jerome, what's up, my man? My son is here. Son, sometimes daddy says some crazy shit, but you're 15 years old and you're aware of this by now. Remember, do not say what I say, but dost thou laugh at what I say, for he is a jolly funny fellow. Third tier. Great reference. Great movie. You're referencing movie. Mr. Bradigan is here. Hello, good sir. Nice to see you. Welcome. Alon is here. Hello. Let's see who else we got. Raul is here. Oh, I wish. I mean, wait, what? Hawk, what's up, my boy? Dane with a nice announcement. Make sure you join on Nick's channel and into more than gift settings. Turn on in order to eligible for Knob's gift once it funnels through. So Knob is able to gift somebody memberships. That's pretty cool. I can't see on my end if it's been done yet or who it went to, but that's an awesome way to start. That's pretty cool, guys. I didn't know about that. And then while you're in there, you get a preview of things to come. J1, also known as, well, we won't say his AKA. When Jake first set up memberships, I gifted some and it never assigned them and then refunded me. I think it was a couple days maybe for gift memberships to work. The first of okay. I'm new to this. Like, I will trust you guys who have been on. When I first came on the scene. Now. Sorry. Nick, close your eyes. All right. All right. Here we go. I even put on a watch. I put on a watch for you gentlemen tonight. I'm very excited about this. I'll be honest with you. I completely forgot that was a thing. I did. And then I was going through it today and I was like, I could start memberships. I thought I had to wait. So that was pretty cool. I am going through. I feel like the Secret Service is going to be at my front door any minute because I put in Oval Office photos in Google to get that picture. Messages and the skipper to a millionaire. You know I'm doing things when I'm singing. Let's see if that works out. Might have a big whale coming in here later. Might have a nice surprise for you guys. Thank you, Hawk. Thank you. Well, thank God. I thought that was a big occasion for me. As a YouTube content creator, it's a nice occasion. I even showered to sit in front of you motherfuckers. How about that? Oh, we have a name from the past. Dark Soldiers here. Little history lesson for you who might be new to the Proud New York Jet Fan channel. When I was doing Friday night hangouts with 4, 5, or 6 people watching, when I was still drinking and incoherent at times, this gentleman was here. This gentleman reached out to me privately, and we got Gunny on. And Gunny was this was one of the first shows he came on, was on with me on a Friday night hangout. And Dark Soldier, Gunny's one of my good friends right now because of you. So welcome back, good sir. Thank you for supporting from early on. Nick, have you ever changed since you showered? I changed. Changed once. I'm packing everything up. I'm getting everything ready to get out of this house. Not now, but like Jenna Jameson, 1997. God damn. Damn. Oh, lordy. All right. Let's get into some Jet Talk. I had to take care of some channel business. Knobcraft, thank you so much for being the first member of the channel. We always knew the guy with the biggest knob would be the most important member. So those are the Knobcraft joined. Oh, look at that. Knobcraft is a shiner. That's awesome. Total time. Oh, that's pretty neat. Cool. Thank you, Knob. Guys, I'm kind of learning about this as we go. So thank you. Yeah, Gunny's cool. I'm going to take Gunny to task. And I've said this to him on Twitter, publicly, and in the DM. What the fuck is your hate about Brock Bowers? You don't like Brock Bowers. I'm going to have to go back and forth with him a little bit more later. He's not a Brock Bowers fan at all. I did a mock draft for those of you on Twitter, and it's got like almost 40,000 views. Joe Blewett was on there going back and forth with somebody. Gunny was on there going back and forth with somebody. Like, it was quite the interesting day. Like, the last 36 hours on Twitter has been pretty interesting for me. I wish. I tried to get Beetlejuice in 2012 for my best friend Kevin's bachelor party so we could do tossing, but he wouldn't do it anymore because he got hurt. So I did try to hire Beetlejuice, but he didn't do the tossing anymore. Yes. I will tell you some information that I received while I was cooking some nice chicken cutlets before. I will let you know that. Hold on. We got to get things back to normal here. Break it down. Okay. I have a source that told me that Mike Williams has already agreed to a 2-year, $25 million, up to $25 million contract pending a physical in person tomorrow at Florham Park. I like it. I like the contract. If Tyron Smith is 1 year, 6.5, up to 20. If Mike Williams has a contract, 2 years, up to 25, I think that's good. I think that's a good deal for us. He had the knee surgery early October. Brees had it in November. Mid-November, was ready for the season opener. Sorry, I look fine as fuck tonight. Yeah, so I would be okay with that. We don't need to rush him out there for week 1. We can work him in. No, don't worry, Dark Soldier. Wow. Oh, that ups. Were you in here the other day when I told my Jenna story? I think that might top mine. Good for you. Oh, I went first. Harlan, yeah, you're against them too? Hold on. All right. We gotta do something here. I gotta put up a poll. Just coincidence. I was talking about Jenna Jameson. Hold on. I'm muting this just because the YouTube's going to play in the background. Give me a sec. I'm getting quite shifty and nifty at this stuff. Okay. I'm going to put up a poll right now. And here's what the poll is going to ask you. It's not, do you like Brock Bowers as a Jet? But it's going to ask, do you think Bowers will be an elite NFL player? Yes or no? Very simple. That's it. Yes or no? Go ahead. Poll is up. That's what she said. Thank you to the new subscriber tonight. Appreciate it. If you're here watching, welcome. Thank you. Oh, this isn't Kelly Clarkson. This is High Pitch. Let me make sure the mic's on. Tell me what you guys think. I'm trying to catch up in the chat right now to see I put it this way. I consider some of the elite tight ends. Laporta already. Kincaid already. Kelsey, Kittle, Andrews. Who was the other one? Kelsey, Kitty, Andrews, Laporta, Hockerson. I think it's not too long before we put Bowers up there. I think he's going to pass some of those guys. And I really wish it was here, to be honest with you. So that's my thought. I don't need him to block. I need him to be a mismatch. Does not do well in contested catches. The only advantage Brock can give you is yak. Isn't that something that most tight ends don't give? Don't you want a tight end, though, who can be a weapon in the passing game? Like, I got Ruckert if I want a blocker. Oh, it's right down the middle. We have 22 votes, and it is split down the middle. All right, I'll leave the poll up there for a little bit. That's what he said. He might not be an elite blocker, but you can develop that. He wasn't asked to block a lot at Georgia. When they brought him in tight, they would get him out in the flat or upfield as a weapon in a mismatch. Georgia had enough guys blocking on the line. They're all going to be NFL players. You know, we could use him in the backfield to start and motion him out against a linebacker or a safety. Create the mismatches. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, guys. Like, I respect your opinion. I respect your take on it. I'm not going to be one of the ones to go off. 25 votes. Yowzer. Yeah, so far it's no. All right. I will not use my power and control from the Oval. Oh, I'm not in the Oval anymore. From MetLife Stadium. All right, we will end the poll. Poll comes out no. All right. Wow. I'm a little surprised by that. Do you think he could be elite with Rodgers? Does that change the question? Does that change your answer? I'm going to pull up some stats for you right now. I forget his name. It's not a popular name. Where the hell is he? Robert Tonyan. In the 2020 season, you know Robert Tonyan, All-Pro Robert Tonyan, NFL Hall of Fame tight end Robert Tonyan. You guys remember him, right? No? Well, let me tell you about him. In the 2020 season with Aaron Rodgers, Robert effing Tonyan caught 52 out of 59 targets at tight end. He was the number 2 receiver on the Packers that year. And how many touchdowns did he get, you asked? Just 11. 52 out of 59. It's ridiculous. And he's done shit since. Now, Aaron Rodgers had a MVP season. 48 touchdowns. Who are his top 3 receivers, you ask? Coincidence? I have that information for you. Devontae Adams, a.k.a. Garrett Wilson, 115 catches, almost 1,400 yards, 18 touchdowns. The number 2 receiver on the team, Robert Tonyan, a.k.a. potentially Brock Bowers, 52 catches, 11 touchdowns, 586 yards. The 3rd receiver on the team, Aaron Jones, 47 catches, 300, a.k.a. Breece Hall, 355 yards, 2 touchdowns. Only 3 players on the team had more than 35 receptions that year. 1 receiver, 1 tight end, 1 running back. I don't know. I would like him. You know what I would like more, though? I would like him to be drafted before we get to us. That's what I would like. I would love that. It takes away the debate. It takes away the future what ifs. It takes away the arguments. We should have, we could have, we didn't. I would love if Brock Bowers goes in the top 9. Just so I don't ever have to debate, argue, hear, we could have had him, and we didn't. I think he's deserving to go. You're right. They do. They do. Your first comment on screen with the Shiner logo next to you. Welcome. For those of you that were not here in the beginning, I came to you in a sports coat, live from the Oval Office of the proud New York Jet fan, with an announcement that there are now membership tiers available on the channel. I'm hoping I get a guest in here with me. This way I could do some producing behind and get the banner going up and everything. I'm too old. I can't multitask like these young guys like Ryan and Matt O'Leary do. Even Green Bean, he's older, but he's a OG. He's much more skilled behind the scenes than I. One day I pray to have a beard of one color. Shout out to the North Carolina Tar Heels. Let me rewind that for a second. Shout out to North Carolina State. Winning the ACC tournament, playing 5 games in 5 days is very, very impressive. They beat Duke, they beat Virginia, they beat Carolina. Kudos to them. So one of my boys goes, "How come you never say anything like this when Duke wins the tournament?" North Carolina State isn't a bunch of cunts. That's why. So I will say I'm looking forward to the NCAA tournament. It's my favorite time of year. It really is. Between NFL free agency, new life, new birth for our New York Jets, and then you add in the tournament. It's a great time of year. It's an underrated sportsman. And I used to be a big Yankee fan, but not anymore. Baseball puts me to sleep. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. Thank you. It usually takes it'll probably be next year's pick, Wild Wave, because when Miami tampered with Brady, it took to the following draft for the punishment to come through. I'm trying. Guys, I don't want you to go now, but when the show ends, go back and watch the beginning. Go back and watch the beginning. I'll give you a little hint of where I was. I wish I was here right now in North Carolina, but I'm not. But I came to you from the Oval Office with a sport coat on. Go check it out when you get a chance later. I definitely recommend it. But now I'm back to the most important place on earth, MetLife Stadium. It has nothing to do with the World Cup. I love it, man. This Thursday, Friday coming up, those first 2 days, to me, Super Bowl included, are the best 2 days in sports. They're by far. I just think that those days with the buzzer beaters, with the upsets, with the small programs beating the Giants, I look forward to it a lot. All right, let's get into this. And this is not me coming at you, Scott. Here's why I don't think it's possible to do it. We've had it before. And there were chunks of grass bigger than my beard and bigger than my head on the field. Now, you know how much rain we had this year? Now, if you were building the stadium brand new and you wanted to construct different platforms of grass that could come up, they changed the field. Okay. You can't do that. Excuse me. You can't do that. Can't happen. So how many ring games did we have this year? 5 of the 9? How pissed off would we be if we had to play a game on a Monday night after a torrential downpour all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and the Giants played on a Sunday and the field got torn up? You see in back-to-back weeks in Pittsburgh, Cleveland, New England, where the field looks like shit still and it's brown because they couldn't get the field ready for back-to-back home games. What are you going to do on back-to-back nights? Like I said, brand new stadium, brand new construction where you can build underneath the stadium to have the platforms come in and out. Margaret, let me say this. You think Tyron Smith came to the Jets to block for Tyrod Taylor or Zach Wilson? There's no way. that Aaron Rodgers is going to be accepting a VP nomination. No way at all. We're good, guys. Nobody would be entertaining coming to the New York Jets if Aaron Rodgers wasn't here. So, Knob, I'm curious. Who did you... Oh, hold on. I'll get back to that later. Well, Boba, thank you for the super chat. God bless you. I know it's the Lord's Day. I'll say a prayer for you for even attempting to listen to WFAN. Of course they're going to say that. Yeah, they're a tire station. I haven't listened to it since Joe Beningo and Mike in like 2015 or 16. I think they're the worst two radio personalities. I think they give a bad taste to New York sports fans. And those two people equally are the reason that I stopped listening to sports radio in New York. I can't do it. I can occasionally do Michael Kay because I love Don. I have a great story about meeting Don out in Pittsburgh after the AFC Championship, but I can't do that. I can't do it. And nowadays with the internet, let me say this. Media members, sports writers, mock drafts, predictors, prognosticators know very well that the New York Jet Twitter universe will give their shows, takes, more viewage than any other fan base. We will all tweet it. We will all aggressively attack them. We will bring all the attention to them that they desire. And we're dumb enough to take the fucking bait every single time. So, as difficult as it is, because we all want to defend our team. We all want to defend what we stand for. We all want to defend who we love. I let that stuff go. All they're doing is trying to get a rise. They want calls coming into the station. They want engagement. WFAN has turned into TMZ for sports. They just want to be like a Skip Bayless and put stupid takes out there that rile up the fan base. And they got programming directors and station managers who are dumb enough to just let that shit hit the air. There's no authenticity. There's no art in being a sports commentator anymore. It's just aggravate people. But Boba, I will not hold that against you at all in any way, shape, or form. I appreciate you coming in again with another super chat, man. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Oh, damn. I should have started. I might put the jacket back on. I think I have a new bit. That RFK chose me and had Aaron Rodgers is safe. Damn it. Yeah, I thought I saw that too. I thought I saw that he picked, or the rumor is that he locked in. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Jets Universe proudly brings to you, not its general manager, not its owner, its head coach. Robert Saleh checking in once again, saying my team is on the rise. Robert Saleh, we thank you. Once again, I humbly thank you for joining the proud New York Jet fan stream. It is an honor. It is a privilege. It is absolutely amazing to have you here with us. I'm putting this up again because and I'm swirling the mouse around it, kind of like it's, what it's kind of like. It's cool seeing that I have a paid member to my channel. Knob, thank you, man. That's really, really freaking cool. For the rest of you guys who are just getting here, big news today on the channel. There is now memberships, and I'm going to do another commercial here. The levels are a shiner, loyalty badges, priority replies to comments, and member shout-outs, as you see Knobcraft here is getting. A super shiner. What does a super shiner get you, you ask? Well, let me tell you while I have your attention, please. All of the shiner perks that I previously mentioned. Connecting on social media Dano is going to create a Discord channel for a group discussion. We can have group hangouts. There will be polls in there as well. We will have a members-only live stream that'll be private, kind of like a Zoom meeting. And then there'll be exclusive GIFs or GIFs. I'm not sure. I always say GIFs, but I've been told I'm wrong. And then, you want more exclusive? I got more exclusive for you. Supreme Shiner. What is that, you ask? Well, you get all the perks from the 2 levels I previously mentioned, and you get to co-host a show with me, and you get exclusive access to me. Direct contact. What does that mean? Possible phone number, direct chat, text, FaceTimes, whatever. We'll figure it out. Whatever you're comfortable with, but I will open that up to you. So those are the members. Knobcraft is a member. That's pretty cool, actually. I like that. I've always seen other people have that, but to have that on my own, that warms my soul, boys. So, Coach Sala, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. It is. Yes, this is a good take. It is a dying breed. Everyone's using different forms. They're using YouTube. Thank you. They're using Twitter. They're using, I'm not a fan of it. What do they call it on Twitter? Spaces. But now you want to discuss, the majority of sports fans want to discuss the team they love with someone else, who loves it. You don't get that on sports radio anymore. You get somebody trying to trigger you. I don't want to be triggered while I'm driving. I don't want to be triggered while I'm in the car. I don't want to be triggered because some idiot whose name is not even worth saying is just screaming about the Jets and jealous that they gave $40 million to Danny frickin' Jones. So, yeah. But again, thank you for the super chat. It's supposed to. It's supposed to sound kinky. It's supposed to intrigue you to purchase the membership. You should send out molds of your toe to super shiners. If I had somebody else, and when I got the toe taken off, my last day at wound care, the lady took like the sticky adhesive tape and made what looks like a rubber or taped up toe, and I actually have it in my little nightstand next to the bed. I just saw it and put it in another place so I didn't lose it because I'm packing everything up to get out of here. All right, hold on. I'll get it for you guys. Give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right here. It's 2 seconds. All right. Yeah, that's my old man slippers you hear. So the last day of wound care, she made this for me. And she said, I know you lost your toe while you were here, and we're sorry to hear that, but we have this for you. And she made a little tape thing of my toe for me to keep. So she was awesome. I do have that. I hang it up right here. Oh, look, I'm Taylor Swift. I have no curves either. Sorry. Papa Yeti in the house. What's up? So, yeah, I could tell some stories about the toe, but you know what? There you go. You want to become a super shiner with private access? I'll give you all the stories that I'm nervous to tell on air here. There. You'll have definitely. Yeah, here you go. Dark Soldier, there's the commercial. You'll have exclusive access to all of Nick's stories that cannot be told on YouTube. Yeah. If this is the free OnlyFans, when you get into the club, that's when you get all of my awful stories. And by awful, I mean outstanding. So, all right. What's our thoughts on Mike Williams? Like I said, I heard a rumor. I got a contact who's got a contact and said that it could be 2 years, $25 million for Mike Williams. Up to. Just like the Tyron Smith is 6.5 guaranteed up to 20 million. How do you guys feel about that? What's your thoughts? Yeah, I don't have a car right now, but in the truck, you're right. You know what? This might make the truck. Yeti, this will be in the truck. 100%. That'll be with me. It's in my stuff to take with me, and I didn't think of that. Don't you insult the Amish. She looks like a goalpost. She's long, thin, yellow with no curves or personality. An awful red lipstick on. That's what she is. She's a goalpost. I don't even want to hear OBJ. I don't want to hear it. That's not from you, Wild Wave, just the name. I don't want to hear it. All right, cool. I don't. I'll take Boyd. I'll take Williams and then Boyd. You guys know how I felt about Curtis Samuel. I'm not over that. I'm not over that. But I'll take Boyd or Williams. Those are my next two names on the list. I'm all right with that, but I still want to add a weapon in the draft in the first two picks. Yeah, no to him. Tony Alexio here. What's up, pal? I'll say this. I said this on Twitter the other day. It's my first time saying it here, so I'll let you distinguished gentlemen hear it for the first time. If it's less than what Kinlaw is getting, I'm okay with it. Clowney is very good at playing the run. And then you have Will McDonald coming in to rush the passer. And I think I like the Clowney-McDonald combo better than I like the Huff-McDonald combo. Because as of now, I don't know how Will can play the run. But we know how Clowney can play the run. I'd be okay with it as long as it's not more than Kinlaw's money. If it's incentive-based, like the teams we like to be doing a lot of, I'm okay with that. But I don't want to lay out money double digits. I can't. You want to pay him $1 million bonus for 4 sacks, $2 million bonus, or another $1 million for 6, another $1 million for 8, whatever. That's fine. Earn it. We'll pay you for sacks, right? If you can get him on this defensive line with these other weapons and you're being used primarily as a run stuffer at edge, I like that. You know, you have Clemens, Fatu, Quinnen, JJ on a rundown. That's a really good front four on a rundown, right? I'd be okay with that, guys. Oh, I got another poll. I want to add. Let's see what you guys think about this. You guys surprised me with the Bowers poll. So I'm going to put in the poll right now. Grade the Jets offseason so far. I'm only allowed 4 options. And I know Modine would be the only one to click an F. So we know F has 1, even though it's not up there. I love you, Mo. Just tell me what you think of the, not any of the rumors, things we've actually done. Okay. It's about where I thought it would be. I'm okay with that. 20 votes so far. I'll let a few more. A, B, C, or D? Yeah. Good point, Ricky. Ricky was a couple. You're coming out firing on with your points tonight. Hate losing Huff, but Clowney had 9 sacks last year and is very solid versus the run. I'll take him. I didn't know he had 9 sacks. That number kind of surprises me. I didn't think it would be that high. All right, we're at 26 votes. A is in the lead. I'm going to end it. Get your vote in now. 3, 2, 1. All right. B comes in at 67%. I didn't vote. I voted B on a couple of polls on Twitter. A is at 25%, C is at 7%, D is at 0. So I think for the New York Jets fan base to not have any Ds and only Mo Dean with an F, I think that's a pretty good offseason. Would you take JFM if we sign Clowney just to, or would you trade JFM? No, because JFM, I think I like him inside on rushing downs. I'll tell you right now, I don't think Michael Clemens makes the team this year. I think Clemens is out. I think they'll draft somebody that can get more out of a Clemens. And I think those outbursts in Buffalo and Cleveland last year are not what this team thought he would be or what they want to be. So you want a hot take right now? Michael Clemens does not make the opening day roster. I'd rather have Tanzel Smart. If we sign Clowney, that means to me Clemens is gone. There's no reason for that. Remember the fun we had 2 years ago with all the Chuck Norris stuff on the Friday night hangout, Soldier? Knob, you guys were there. I don't know if many of you, others of you were. If I had the answer to that, I would tell you what Jets to sign and what not to sign. Here's a question. If you ever join you up there again, I'd rather go unscripted, reading super chats and pointing out idiotic statements. Thank you, Dane. All right, Wild Waves in with an A. Knob, a quiet A. That's pretty good for Knob. Knob is, I don't want to say he's a pessimistic Jet fan, but I will say this. He's not afraid to voice his displeasure and let you know when he is ticked the fuck off by them. And he will get ticked off. He's got a shorter fuse, but he always comes back after the explosion. So I think that is an amazing grade to give. Bradding coming in with a B+. Soldier with a B+. All right, Ricky, what'd you end up with? But I know, putting a little, so going with an A, thinking we're going to get, I like it. Throwing in the prediction. Hank, very good way to look at it. With the money that we had, I put it this way. You get Morstead and Zerline, A. It's like a Christmas Story. A, plus. Look at that. Where else are you going to get Christmas Story references in the middle of March than the Proud New York Jet Fan Show? Ooh, Raul, man, it was going so good. Why you gotta break my heart, man? It's tearing up my heart to read your words. And I filled with tears when I heard that Curtis chose to go up to Buffalo. Oh, what a fucking deflating freestyle that was. Back to Q is how this. Why though, Chris? You're not content with the 3 starters on the offensive line? What NFL team got 3 starters on the offensive line? You don't see that. Hold on. What time is it? 9:46. Oh, I hope you're still here. Mr. Corbett, hello, sir. For any of you that have ever been over to the K5 tailgate, I know Italy Jet, I know Porto, Knob, Jeremy, Buffalo Jet fan, Adam, Green Mean, Gunny, Mrs. Gunny, Twisted has been over there. always say how awesome our setup is. We're back in the corner. My good friend here, James Corbett, is the one who runs the tailgate. And we always have a good setup. We always have great food. We run a Super Bowl box pool, sometimes two, $5 a box. Where else do you get that at MetLife? We got a great setup. We got a great setup back there. So when you come to the tailgate and you come say hello this year, just know that my buddy James is the one running it, and make sure you say hello to him. He's a great Jet fan. I love you, buddy. Hope you're still watching. I'm a little surprised. Yeah, Nikki's excited. James, I hope you're still here. Nikki's excited to see you too. I'm going to read one more time for those of you that have been here for the full time. Thank you. I just want to let everybody know. I know people come and go as the show goes on. There's now membership on the channel. If you go to the main page, not from a phone, I heard, from a tablet or a computer, you can now join the channel and get exclusive offers, become a shiner, get a super shiner with contact through social media, Discord group. We have polls in there. We'll have private streams. And then a supreme shiner, you get to co-host a show and you get exclusive access to me. But as we noted earlier, not me bum. I want to. If I had somebody on here, I would type, you know what? I'm doing it now. Sorry, Dane. I'm trying to run commercials. All right. I'm going to type this up right now. Here's what I'm going to do. Don't leave. I'm going to play this video. It's the opening. Gives me a minute to type this up. And I will be right back. No fighting. No arguing with Modine. Enjoy. It's a commercial break brought to you by Proud New York Jet fan and that jerk off Jeremy.
And now, welcome to Pride and Chaos.
Welcome to the darkest year of our adventures. Oh, yeah!
And now, give it up for Jeremy and Nick.
Now he's candy.
And as usual, Nick is wrong.
Why are you the way that you are? God, I can't stand you.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Whoa, that was cool.
No, I want to scroll the banner. Okay, hide. It's not scrolling. Why are you not scrolling? Damn it, Dean, where are you? Dano, where are you when I need this shit? Let me see if I make it one line, if it will scroll. Sorry, guys. I'm working on this, okay? Show? It's supposed to scroll. Ticker. Oh, I see what I have to do. Guys, I'm trying. Please don't make fun of me. I've never had to do this. Edit. Boom. Boom. We're going to copy you. We're going to click you. All right. I think Daddy did it. Boom, boom, boom. We are the champions, my friend. All right. Daddy's back. I'm sorry that I put you guys through that. Should have done that earlier, but I was too busy setting up the Oval Office. What else we got? Did I miss anything? I tried. Did you try unplugging and plugging me back in? I think I'm the issue. Wi-Fi is downloading at like 700. Boomtown's wherever I go, baby. So, what do we got, guys? I was hoping to have a guest. I was hoping. Let me see. Yeah, nothing yet. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Power's on, power's up. So, I don't know. I'm having fun doing these polls to see what you guys, the feedback that you guys have. I'm going to put in another one right now. And see what you guys say. This one's going to be interesting. I'm not sure how this one's going to play out. See if you have some fun with it. I'm having fun with this tonight. Let's see what you guys think in that poll. What's the Jets' next move? Williams? Clowney? Boyd? Or Grassfield announced? Let's see what you guys think happens next in the Jets offseason. I know what we're going to do here. I know exactly what we're going to do tonight. On a Sunday night, Shine Time, episode 4, I want to thank the 52 of you who are hanging out with us so far. I had no guest tonight. I got an invite to a guest. I did try to get Ryan from 24/7. He already had plans. He had date night. I reached out to somebody else. I'm waiting to hear back. He had to be on daddy daycare for a little bit, but he said if fiance gets home early enough, he'll pop in. Here's what I'm going to do for you guys. Since you guys have supported me so much, we are going to do. Oh, and for those of you that saw me and put the great comments in this morning on Jake Aspin's show, thank you. Thank you. I did my best to plug the show. I snuck one in. I snuck one in for me and Jeremy as well. So tonight for hour 2, here's what we're going to do. I need to pin that comment. How do I? There we go. Pin message. Message pinned. We're going to end the poll. You guys think that Mike Williams is the next move announced. So here's what we're going to do. Here are the rules. We're going to do 5 minutes. Come on in. Say your hellos. Tell me what you want to vent about. Whatever you want. It's your 5 minutes. It's your time. Like I always said, this is a channel made for the people. Made by the people, for the people. So if you're up or popping on, pop on with me. We'll have a little discussion. No mock draft tonight. Here we go. We got our first. Let's make sure this is good. I'll bring you in. Phenom, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Nick? My pleasure.
How you doing, man? Welcome.
Thanks for bringing me on.
No worries, man. What's on your mind?
Well, Jets have now some options. We made some big moves. Well, Friday was unbelievable, man. You know, picking up Tyron Smith was a good deal.
Yeah.
And what they did before that. If I was Mike Williams would be a terrific ad, no question. I really want to think of this long term, though. I would really like them to get a young receiver or go after a guy like Brandon Ayuk, a guy like that. That would be a big move. That's a solid number 2. You're gonna have to pay him. He's a quality receiver. I think that would definitely hurt. for long term. But I'm really happy moving into the draft. We're just not locked in. Even though I'm saying I would love for them still to pick up a tackle or another offensive lineman to build this thing, because we have to look long term, guys. We can't just be locked into this 2 years. We have to look after that. And but we have options now, so it's really great.
Yeah. The thing that worries me, listen, if we trade for Brandon Ayuk, I am doing fat man cartwheels. There's no doubt. But then when the dust settles, you got to pay him. And then 10 months from now, you could pay Sauce and Garrett also, because they're eligible for extensions after year 3, whether they get them right away or not. But I'd be very curious to see where we pay Ayuk, what we pay Garrett. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No doubt about it. The business of football sucks, Nick. The business of football sucks. This is not fantasy football. This is real football. Teams that block and tackle the best win under normal circumstances, unless you have a guy like Patrick Mahomes. But still, Patrick Mahomes needs to be protected as well. So, but it's my pleasure, man. Hope to meet you down the road. It's my pleasure coming on.
You come to the games? You live local?
I live in the Bronx. So I come to the games. I'm not a season ticket holder, but I'm a long-time suffering Jet fan. So that's where I am.
There's no other type. There's no other type. I mean, unless you're my son, these kids nowadays be like, "Oh, Daddy, I've been a Jet fan for 10 years. We haven't won anything." Buckle up, son. Buckle up.
wait your turn. Wait your turn.
Yeah, 10 years. You got to at least hit 25. You got to hit the silver anniversary before you're allowed to cry about a long suffering.
But you do some good work, man. I always enjoy you. You're kind of a voice of reason like me. I try to be a voice of reason. And you always give me that. So I always enjoy listening to you and what you got to say, man. You always give me something. Man. So
I appreciate that. I try to be logical, and I say all the time, I'm very loyal and logical when it comes to the Jets, and they've given me absolutely zero reason to be that way.
But look
the rest of my life, I'm short fused. But with the Jets, I'm like, this will work out. And everyone's what's wrong with you?
Patience is a virtue. It really is. It really is.
If I could be as patient in the rest of my life as I am with this team, I would be a saint. I would have a front row seat in heaven. We all would.
Absolutely. But I'm really enjoying this YouTube community, how we talk. I mean, imagine this. We're talking football and it's March. Normally we be in full basketball mode. Full basketball mode. You see, I got the Clecco jersey on.
I see it.
I know it's St. Patrick's Day, but it's unbelievable.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm in this mode right now. I'm in North Carolina mode with the tournament starting too. You've seen me with the North Carolina hat on. You know I'm ready to rock.
I knew that. I really don't know if I knew that. I might have missed that. Sorry about the Tar Heels. Sorry about the Tar Heels. NC State got them. That was a great game the other night.
I tip my hat to them. I tip my hat to NC State. Winning 5 games in 5 days in the ACC for the first time ever. It's hard to do in that conference. And it's the only second time it's ever been done besides Ben Gordon with Connecticut.
Oh, well, that's a while ago, too.
When he went on that run. Yeah,
that's a while ago.
It was impressive. I'll give them credit. I don't hate NC State. I hate Duke. Virginia's like a cactus. They're a prick. But I don't mind NC State at all.
Let me give
thank
a
you
shout
so
out.
much, man.
Let me give a shout out to the NYU women. They won the national championship in Division III. I don't know anybody from NYU, but it's a local school. I mean, they were 30-0, undefeated. And they went to the championship game last year, I think lost, and then came back all that time and won this year. Big ups to the Violets, man. Big ups.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, man. Thank you for joining, and maybe I'll see you again next time we do this.
Absolutely, man. Take care.
All right, take care, bud. All right, next up, we have another guest, a first-time caller. What do we call it? Caller? Video chat? What do we call it? First time on the show. There we go. Let's bring in B-Mac. What's up, B-Mac?
Hey, Nick.
How are you, man?
You probably might remember me. I'm a Packer fan. I usually call
Yeah,
him
you came on Jeremy's show one time when it was me and Jeremy.
Yeah,
you came in.
yeah,
It's your first time on my show. Yes.
yeah. And
I
you
remember
probably saw
because
my
the
background
TV.
with the
Yes, the
Chicago
TV was me and Jeremy on the
I remember you,
TV. Yes.
Yeah. So
I thought that was
man,
pretty cool.
I'm a big fan of yours. I'm a big fan of you. I'm a big fan of a lot of the Jet content people. I follow everybody to Boy Green, to Green Bean, to you, to Jets Chaos, to Jake Asman, to Richie from Jets Media.
Awesome.
So.
That's pretty cool.
Y'all become my second favorite team once AR8, because of AR8.
We got it. Most of our teams started off on your team, so just by we got a lot of guys who've been back and forth.
Yeah, man. So I hope y'all can finally have a successful year next year, and I think y'all will, man. I think y'all gonna finally do it this year. My prediction, guys, go 12-5 and win the AFC East. So.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah.
We're gonna see you guys in the Super Bowl. How about that? Rodgers versus Love in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
how about
man,
that storyline?
Yeah, man, that'd be huge, man. That'd be big. That game's gonna be like a lot of people gonna be making a lot of money off of that too. So, you know what I mean? So
you guys impressed last year. The thing that all the great things that the Packers have done throughout their history, and I could be here for 2 hours reading off all they've accomplished. The most impressive thing to me, and something that I know the Jets won't, but I wish they could somehow figure out maybe in the next couple of years, you don't need first-round picks at every position on the line. You guys were dominating the Dallas Cowboys, running for over 200 yards with zero first-round picks on the offensive line. So it is possible to have a line in the NFL without number 10 pick, number 14 pick, without Tyron Smith, who was a top 10 pick. It is possible to have a line, a successful line, without number ones.
Yeah, well, that's the great thing about the Packers is that, we've known as a draft and development team.
Yeah.
And, a lot of, especially in the Rodgers days, people would criticize us for not spending big in free agency and not, going like spending the big bucks. But what we have shown for the past 30, 40 years is that, we, a bunch of our success comes from with drafting and development, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Getting guys like second, third, fourth rounds, diamonds in the rough guys, and they become like franchise superstars on our team. So, I was one of the Packer fans that was critical with the Packers for not being aggressive and going all in, especially when we had Rodgers. But, now what we did last year with Jordan Love, gives me a lot of confidence about what our team can do, in the draft and, like especially at the wide receivers positions, like when like Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, those guys wasn't first round draft picks. Those guys were 7th, second round, third round draft picks. So I think the Packers, we got that old school mentality is, draft and develop. And the one time we actually got big free agents is when we got Charles Woodson, Reggie White. Those are the big known guys we got in free agency. So
yeah, awesome. Well, I wish you good luck. Thank you for calling in, man. It was a pleasure talking to you again.
One, I do want to bring this up too.
Yeah, go ahead.
It probably doesn't really matter, but it's kind of interesting.
What do you got?
Before with Rodgers, before the whole COVID vaccine thing, he was beloved by the national media and beloved by the fans and all that stuff. And then after the whole COVID thing, which he kind of brought on himself too, but it seems like the media is painting him as a villain. It seems like when they criticize him, it has nothing to do with football. It has to do with politics and personal stuff. What's your take on that?
Oh man, I stand by Aaron Rodgers with the majority of his takes, and I feel that too many people attack people if they don't agree with them. And there's no reason to attack, destroy. We do have a thing called freedom of speech. And the beauty of that is that, listen, you're a Packer fan. I'm a Jet fan. We don't agree on it, but here we are respectfully having a conversation. There's no insults. There's not me throwing daggers at you or you throwing daggers at me. There's no cursing each other out or wishing ill or you get fired from your job or that, you know, all of the things that we see in the media when people don't agree. I'll just leave it there. That I wish that people would be able to have more conversations and accept things that they hear that they don't necessarily agree with. I'll leave it like that.
Well, I think like someone was saying, like this is saying that like, don't be attached to your heroes. Don't put your heroes up on a high pedestal because they might have, they might shock you because they might have viewpoints or opinions that you don't, agree with. And then once you find that out, then your opinion of them change. And I think that some Packer fans, who love Rodgers, who praised him, who was a Rodgers truther, after that COVID vaccine thing, and now they started to sour on him a little bit because of his personal opinions and personal stances. So, but like you said, man, go ahead.
People hate seeing people that they differ from with their opinions succeed. They didn't want him to win MVP. They said he didn't deserve that. I am a very, very big fan of people who are hated on succeeding even more so. I've dealt with it my own, nowhere near the level of what an Aaron Rodgers has, but I'm very open on this show talking about my sobriety. And I've had people who I grew up with curse me out last summer and tell me that I'll be a failure. I'll always be a failure. It's just a matter of time before I fail again. So I've experienced it, but not on that level. But kudos to Rodgers for always being a class act, in my opinion, and dealing with a lot of unnecessary hate. So
you can tell that Rodgers really doesn't care. Like at this point in his career, like Rodgers, like accomplished a lot. On the field, off the field, he's got a ton of money. So I think right now at this point in his career, like Rodgers can give two shit about what the media says and what they think of him. I just think for Rodgers, what's important for him is getting back on that field for y'all and leading y'all to the promised land and winning y'all Super Bowl since 1969. So I think that's his main goal. So
I think he loves poking fun at everyone too. So I hope he plays forever. I hope he plays forever and just keeps pissing everybody off. So thank you so much, man. Good luck to you and your Packers this season. Thank you. And we'll connect again, maybe after the draft. All right. Be good, B-Mac. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching, man. Appreciate you. All right. Shout out to the Packer fan for joining us. We get some love in the NFC East. We got Patty Grimes here in the chat, who's a Detroit Lion fan. We got B-Mac, who's a Packer fan. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that having the discussions about football and our team intrigue other fans of other teams to join and deal with you assholes in the chat. You know who you are. So who's next? I have nobody's Wild Wave, Mo, Knob, Nathan, Chris Bradigan, anybody? Ricky? Assist my suicide. I still forgive me for laughing at that name. I actually have to take a picture of that name. I'm sorry. We know Johnny. Johnny's probably on someone else's fucking show right now. Johnny's too big to come on my show. And as I say that, watch. Bloop, he's going to pop in. Mo, I would love to put a face to the voice. Oh, here we go. We have another a first-timer. First time on my channel, Mr. Tony Alexio. How are you?
How you doing, Nick?
How's everything, pal?
Pretty good. The interesting thing I think that might be possible is this thing with Clowney. If he gets signed, I mean, I think it will be, it's terrible what happened with Huff. I mean, he should have been franchise tagged, and you guys talked about that too much already. But what's done is done. But I think we can get him on a cheap end, but that other signing we got Kinslow or whatever. I think that was a gross overpay, and this guy should be a lot cheaper, and he's a lot better because he stops the run. I think he had 9 sacks or 9.5 sacks. What I was hearing last year.
Yeah, somebody said that in the chat earlier. Forgive me, I forget who it was.
Yeah.
Said he had 9 sacks.
And
So
and
really
he ended,
pretty
yeah,
impressive for the stage of his career.
yeah. Especially he underperformed all the time, and he's been pretty solid. I mean, and run stopping. I mean, once Al Woods went down last year, it was a wild ride right through the line for the running backs against us.
Yeah, that's why I like that we've brought in multiple defensive tackles. We lost Woods, we lost Jefferson. We brought in Fatu. We've brought in Kinlaw. We've re-signed Solomon Thomas. So they're making it a point to beef up the middle. We still have JFM. We still have Quinnen Williams. We still have free agency. I think Michael Clemens is on the short end of the stick. I think Michael Clemens is going to be out. I don't think he's done enough. I think they're going to want to find somebody who can do more. I think if you're going to pay a Clowney is the upgrade to Clemens.
Unfortunately, but I think Clemens will give us more trade value for Sack because it doesn't look like we're getting nothing for him.
Yeah. Clowney's had 52.5 sacks in his career. He's had 2 9.5 sack seasons, 2017 with Houston, and last year with Baltimore was his second high. So maybe with Quinnen, with JJ, with JFM, Solly, they can bring him in and maybe get some similar production. That would be great if you can bring in a guy like that. I think JJ is going to be the leader. JJ and Quinnen should hit double digits next year. But if you can get a third guy like Clowney, who, if you're getting 9.5 sacks, it also means that you're getting the pressure to get there, right? And sometimes you get home, sometimes you don't. Just that pressure alone could force them to step up into somebody else and allow them to get a sack. So I am a firm believer of Robert Saleh, and you can never have too many guys that can hit the quarterback. There's never going to be a line where you draw and say, that's enough. We don't need any more quarterback pressure. Not in this day and era in the NFL. And not when you see a team like the Chiefs who fucking holds everybody on every play. You need guys who can get there and get through the hold.
Yeah, and like you were saying, during this great show with the other guests coming on, to that Green Bay fan, that the offensive line. But I just wanted to tell you, because I've been a fan for at least 50 years, probably when I was 10. Yeah. Okay, but the worst game I ever saw was this year, and a lot of the older fans who could probably agree with me, was that second Miami game. The offensive line couldn't stop nobody. I mean, if you have a coach that sees that, he has to put in someone else or make adjustments, whatever he has to do. It was like a free-for-all. Sack had, I think, a couple of concussions that game. I don't remember. They had to take him out. I think they took him out that game. But it was the worst game ever. I mean, have you seen a worse game? Is it just me? Or, I mean, I don't even know how Keith Carter could still be on the team after that. Because he's responsible. And if they suck like that, you got to either try to coach them to make them better or make some adjustments. It was like there was no blocking. Even Becton at least played better, and then he fell apart. I don't know. Would you think maybe that has something to do with Keith Carter, or how did he fall off the cliff? I mean, there's a lot of questions there.
I think the injuries, it's hard to succeed as an offensive line coach when you're bringing guys in who weren't even on any NFL training camp roster, and you're expecting them to play 2-3 days later, right? Real quick, there was a question in the chat I just looked up. Knobcraft, Huff had 480 defensive snaps this year to get his 10 sacks. and I think Clowney had 645, about that. Let me just double check. So Huff had 10 sacks in about 200 less. Snap
I mean, there's
percentage,
no
54.
replacing Huff. There's no replacing Huff, but at least he's an honorable, backup to Huff.
Yeah.
I mean, but he could stop the run. That's one thing Huff couldn't. That was his fault, but he's gone. It's a sad thing. It's just sad about Huff, but.
Oh, real quick, E-Boogie coming in with a super chat saying he agrees with you, Tony. I think he's talking about the Huff situation that you were speaking on, and he put that in. So, E-Boogie, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel. And
I think you might have agreed about the worst game. The worst game was the second Miami game this year. It was just a turnstile.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. But Tony, let me get to my next guest.
All right. Take care. It's good to see you, buddy.
Yeah,
and
man.
say hello to my favorite egghead.
I will. I'll tell him. He's in New York still. Him and his wife had plans tonight. I think they had a Broadway show today they were going to, and they were doing some final tourist stuff in New York before they leave. I think they leave tomorrow, Tuesday, to head back west. So
congratulations on your sobriety. Really is a great thing. God bless.
Thank you. It is. Best gift I ever gave myself. Thank you, brother. We'll talk soon. Go Jets.
All right. Bye-bye.
Oh, that was pretty cool. I like putting faces to the names that I know. Like I'm pretty good with the names, and you guys know if I see a name that maybe I haven't seen in a while, I'm a little confused if they're new or not. But when I see a face, I'll always remember it. I'm the type that I'll see you walking by at the game and be like, hey, you came on my channel once. I might not remember your name with your face, but I'll never forget it. So next up, we have another first-time call into the show. We're going to bring in Ricky from New York. What's up, man?
What's happening, Nick? You know
How
what?
are you, bro?
My faith has kind of been restored, and I'm real happy with the direction things are going in so far. Mike Williams, he's going to be a Jet by the end of the day tomorrow. We're going to get that number 2 wide receiver position locked up. Maybe Clowney later this week. Bring back McGovern. Get Bakhtiari or Donovan Smith or somebody for a swing, and like a Quandre Diggs, and just round out our free agency nicely, and then move into the draft and be able to do basically whatever we want.
I like that. I like that a lot because, I think you're fairly new to my channel the last couple of weeks, right? I've been big on saying the biggest disservice that Joe Douglas could do was enter the draft with the entire NFL knowing that we had to take offensive linemen. Now, we still can do it. Oh, I see. Ricky, we are going to do this again. I promise you. Thank you for coming on. I have a guest popping in that I have to get to right away. All right?
It's all good.
So,
it's all good. Have a good night.
You're going to enjoy this guest. Everybody is. I could go on with a very long-winded introduction, but I don't think that's required here. I'm just going to say one fucking thing, and you're all going to know who I'm talking about. It is time to lose our gosh damn bananas. For the first time ever, Boy Green, Paul, is on the show. What's up, sir? How are you?
I feel terrible for kicking Ricky off. I love Ricky, but I'll
make it up to him. He'll come back on again. I'll make it up to him.
Okay, perfect. It feels great to be on, man. It's long overdue.
Yeah, how are you, man?
Well,
how's the little one?
It's great to see you in MetLife. It's about the crowd right now, but I'm looking forward to some spiciness that's coming up. We got an exciting offseason, man.
How's the little one? Was the little one spicy today? I didn't say who was coming on. I said I had an invite out, and I had to do a little bit of daddy duty. And if everything works out, I got a whale of a guest coming on. So I'm very happy to have you.
Whale of a guest. Wow. I hope I live up to the hype. I appreciate
you
that.
You have enough subscribers to fill these seats behind me. I got enough to fill like 3 rows.
Hey,
but we're growing. We're growing.
I always tell everybody that I have this optimism, and no matter what the lead is, people see me tweet it all the time and they hate me, and it is what it is. But like, no matter what the deficit the Jets may be facing, I always ask one question to the audience, and I'm like, "How do you eat an elephant?" They're like, "What?" One bite at a time, baby. So it's the same thing for building your Jets empire here, is one block at a time. I remember it was a decade ago in 2014. I was near the beginning of my radio career, and I had like 1,000 followers. No one gave a hoot. I had 3 listens, and 2 were my mom. And I just said, you know what? Yeah. I'm going to, in front of this mic, at my house or whether I'm at the radio station, I'm going to scream into it like 1 million people are listening or 5, and I'm going to deliver no matter if it's a house show or I'm in New York City. I'm giving them the same energy and effort. Who knows if that's the first time someone's seen Boy Green or the 100th time. So I always say I'm just going to give it my all every time, and then hopefully, you do things the right way, and eventually you'll get to a place. That's always been my mentality.
That's awesome. And you know what? I'm starting to see the fruits of it now. Last Sunday, I've gained almost like 80 subs since last Sunday. So I'm starting to see the growth, and I'm starting to see the word of mouth, and I'm starting to see people get a little bit of name recognition with me. It helped when I came on your show a couple weeks ago. You had me on in the morning. Thank you. I appreciate that. So you're right, man. And I just launched the memberships today for the channel.
Nice.
So there's some growth coming on. We got a super chat coming in from eBoogie.
Okay.
Offensive line, wide receiver / tight end, or D line? Boy Green, what are you thinking?
I will just address that elephant that's at the end of that statement to say the thing that scares me is that now what happened for the world. All right. With the Tyron Smith signing, which again, I had been pounding the table for months. Now there seems to be no obvious thing that they have to do. You could still go offensive line. You could still go wide receiver, tight end. But if there is no obvious need and the Jets are this BPA, I could 100% see this. And this is the nightmare scenario. But I could 100%, we're in the draft room, and Robert Saleh goes, well, a defender hasn't been taken yet. Joe, we've got the first overall pick of the defensive draft. This is a rare opportunity. I could see him singing that sweet song. And hopefully Joe Douglas like, all right, Saleh, go sit back down, pal. Like, hopefully that's the conversation. But that's why I'm rooting for Atlanta to take Dallas Turner. And then, like, you can't say what I just said is like the, the nonsensical thing. At this point, if it's up to me and the 10th overall pick, it all depends on who's on the board. If one of the 3 receivers are there, and that's Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, or Rome Odunze, I am taking a wide receiver. If one of those 3 is on the board, how likely is it?
You run like you're them doing the 40, right? You 100% up there. If
I'm run, Rich, run. I'm Rich Eisen.
You stiff arm people. You throw Rich Eisen out of the way.
Yeah. It's that one Super Bowl commercial we saw a couple years ago where, like, everyone's looking for the golden.
The 100th NFL dinner.
That's right. And people are getting launched on tables and stuff. That's exactly what I'm doing in my pursuit. And the only exception to that 3 wide receiver rule is if somehow Joe Alt is on the board. Because that, to me, to have Joe Alt, first off, because like last year we had Will McDonald, right? The extra pass rusher. And then like people were all pissed off about that. I don't think people would be pissed off if in the same luxury world you take an offensive tackle that is ready to take on the fort for the next decade. Joe Alt's the only exception to that. I'm assuming he's not on the board, but it would be Joe Alt or one of those top 3 receivers. That's a path. And then if neither of those are on the board, all 3 are gone and Joe Alt's gone, I'm trading back 4, 5, 6 spots, and I'm taking the guy right now on top of my big board is Tyler Guyton, the offensive tackle at Oklahoma, because he needs time to season, and he would have that behind Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses. So it's a very multi-layered answer, I guess, for the super chat, but appreciate the love. But that would be my thought process.
Oh, definitely. I'm kind of similar thought process with you. For those that don't know, I love defense. I love a good defense, and we're finally elite with the defense, but I still think we can get better. And I have a very hard time watching a draft where the top 9 guys could be offensive rated players for most boards. I have a very difficult time thinking that Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas aren't going to have maybe 2 or 3 of these defensive linemen highly rated. Whether it's Newton, whether it's Turner, whether it's Verse, whether it's Murphy, I think they could fall in love with one of those guys and have them as a top 5 or 6 ranked player. And now if the board falls the way the board falls, we all know they say we're going to stay true to our board, right? I think you've adjusted the offensive line enough where you don't have to say we have to take an offensive lineman. I think if we do get Mike Williams, you address the weapons enough where you don't have to say we have to get this position or get another pass catcher. I wouldn't be shocked. That's all I'll say. I will not be shocked.
Yeah. I think people would be pissed. I don't think there's any, especially the owner comes out at NFL Honors, goes offense. I think, kids would be, the world would be pissed. But to Ricky New York and Wild Wave, I'm seeing some of the comments in here. Again, Connor Rogers, Albany guy. Jared Verse started at Albany before he ended up at Florida State. Hey, and sweet, passionate lovemaking, of course. It's funny the things that happen. The lose your gosh darn bananas on a Jets documentary. I'm just in there, and that just what comes to my mind. Sweet, passionate lovemaking after a Monday Night Football loss to the Chargers, and a nice way to get us past a loss. No question about it. The in between the end of a game and a live stream. Yeah, blessed. Yeah. Yes.
You're a wordsmith. You're a wordsmith.
Yeah.
It's very well documented.
I try to have a strong vernacular.
Up on the wall behind you.
That's it. Yeah, there is room. I need to rearrange. But yeah, the gosh darn bananas, the sweet, passionate lovemaking. There's room on this wall for these for the dictionary people. We need to get in touch. We need to get some of these this phraseology in there. There's no doubt about it.
Nice. So, what do you think with Mike Williams? I know you've heard the rumors. Johnny, thank you for the super chat too, by the way, my friend. I appreciate it. And all you guys, hanging out here on a Sunday night with us. We have the superstar, the whale, Boy Green here with us hanging out. So what's your thoughts with the rumors? I heard a rumor from somebody who I trust greatly, and he said that there's a 2-year, up to $25 million deal with Mike Williams agreed to, pending the physical tomorrow. That the only part left is the physical.
Interesting.
What's your thoughts?
Well,
on
that's
that
obviously.
addition?
Yeah, obviously that's a big question. He's coming off a torn ACL. Everyone responds differently. Obviously, Breece Hall. There were so many questions about him that the Jets signed Dalvin Cook, so they weren't sure how he was going to recover, despite the fact he was right under their nose. So a physical is going to be very important. I think I saw the latest thing. He should be arriving Monday evening. Some people thought it was going to be the morning. It seems like the latest is it's going to be an evening drop into. So maybe I guess technically a multi-day visit. It sounds like, so we'll see. There's also Steelers on the table. There's also Panthers on the table this week. Will the Jets let him leave the building? I think that one is going to be that part of the equation is going to be very interesting because I'm sure, to Mike Williams' point, he wants to visit as many teams as possible. It is in his best interest to take his sweet, passionate time, wink, taking his time going through some of these. I think that's an important piece of the puzzle for Mike Williams, but he's not a perfect player. He's got flaws. Again, he has some of the scary injuries in his past, and he disappears sporadically, game to game, inside game. That part's scary. But I'm, again, as the optimistic guy, glass half full, I just see the ceiling. I see the Aaron Rodgers bomb, 60, 70 yards that you saw with Herbert. And there's just so much potential. Plus, again, he worked with a Keenan Allen, so he's worked with a 1A, 1B at wide receiver before. So to have a Garrett Wilson on the opposite side, Breece Hall, and all these weapons, you'd think he would get more favorable situations more than not. So the physical is a massive piece of the puzzle, and also contractually, because obviously he just got cut. So there's no comp pick formula or anything to figure out there. And the wide receiver market is fleeting. So that's another piece of the puzzle for the Jets. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. And you kind of hinted at it. I'll finish the statement.
Sure.
Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Bryce Young, like really?
It's
like
true.
That alone. If the money is anywhere equal, right?
Mm-hmm.
New York, I know we have the tax stigma that Tyreek Hill exposed to the NFL, right? I'm sure everyone has known about it, but nobody ever put it out there on that level for the rest of the football world to see. But if all things are very close financially, that has to be the deciding factor, right? Like, do I want to deal with a rookie or a second-year quarterback like Bryce Young? Do I want to deal with a quarterback question or controversy possibly in Pittsburgh, or do I just want to go play with a guy who throws the most beautiful deep ball that most of us have ever seen?
Because let's be honest, Carolina's going to stink. I mean, they had the number. They would have had the number 1 pick if they had their pick, but it went to the Bears. And Pittsburgh's a dart throw. Is Russell Wilson? He's super motivated, and so is Justin Fields for that matter, and Arthur Smith. So they kind of got a group of super motivated guys, but it takes more than motivation to be able to deliver. So that part's kind of intriguing to me. But that AFC North looks crazy. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow is going to be back. Deshaun Watson should be healthy at the start of the season. So, the AFC East, on the other hand, looks up for grabs. Buffalo is having a different era coming in. Miami lost everybody on defense, and the Patriots are in a complete rebuild. Man, if I'm Mike Williams and I'm looking at it objectively, the money has to be comparable, just comparable in the same conversation as the others. This to me is a compelling offer. And to me, the 2-year thing sounds interesting. If I'm Mike Williams, I'm probably trying to sign a 1-year deal, because if I have the 1 year and I go off with Aaron Rodgers, I can dip my toe back in the waters and reestablish the full value of hitting the open market, perhaps as one of the top wide receivers available. So I'd understand from the Jets' perspective. It reminds me of Morgan Moses. That was back in the first time around. He got released on May 20th. The Jets ended up signing him in July. One of the reasons for the delay was after the Jets met with him, they wanted to offer him a 2-year deal because they wanted control for the future. Morgan only wanted to dip his toe back in, show he's the beast he believes he is, and then go back to test. And he didn't. He actually obviously fared very well with the Jets, but he only got a 3-year, $15 million deal, $5 million average with the Ravens. So he didn't quite get the money he was looking for when he hit the open market. But I think that's the same kind of perspective there from Mike Williams. So first off, if he's trying to reestablish value, it's not in Carolina. Maybe it's Pittsburgh. It depends on how much you believe in Russell Wilson. I think the Jets are obvious. They have the chance for a chip. They have Aaron Rodgers. You're playing alongside Garrett Wilson, a bona fide star. In Pittsburgh, George Pickens is a basket case. I mean, is he going to be able to stay on the field and have his head screwed on right? Pittsburgh has had a lot of receivers over the years, cough, that, when their heads are screwed on right, it's fantastic. When it's not, things go south pretty quick. So it's a multi-layered conversation.
Yeah, it is. Scott, you're right. You appeared on the show the other day, and now great things are happening. So I thank you for your contributions to the channel. It's obviously all predicated off of you and your charm and looks. So thank you so much. I'm a little offended by some of the things that you said, Boy Green, and we're going to address them now. You said it twice.
Do. Yeah.
Dipping the toe in the water. You knew I lost my toe. You knew after I fell down the stairs from the ACL. This is the toe that my nurse gave me when the wound vac was done. Wow. So I'm not letting that comment go here. We shall address it.
You're not.
And this is also your last time on the channel after these words.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn toe.
Yeah. Wow. That could go viral.
So, yeah, that's an ongoing joke here. No worries.
So, so sorry to step on your toes there.
Thank you. There we go.
Here we are.
Oh, Boomtown. I just got the notice that you just joined the channel too. Thank you for subscribing. Little surprise here on a Sunday night. Not promoted, not put out there for everyone to know about ahead of time. Kind of little spontaneous visit here from the great Boy Green. How you feeling about free agency so far? I know you've probably addressed this all over with your daily show and everything. We had a little poll before in the chat, A, B, C, or D. Where are you at? And then I'll tell you what won. With what was expected, where we were financially, and what we've accomplished up to date. Where are you?
Yeah, it was a slow play, obviously, and that sent Jet fans crazy. But, we were kind of warned about this. I had Brian Costello of the New York Post on during Combine Week. And one of his points were Jet fans are going to be his prediction. I said, do you have any juicy predictions for us? I was hoping he's like, they're going to sign this guy. They're trading for this guy. And the prediction he gave is, I got a prediction for him. I'm like, please do tell. He went like, you guys are going to be pissed because they're not going to be doing anything. And all the memes of stick this, do this, and do that are going to be rampant. I'm like, that's not what we want to hear. So, so he had a lot of those takes, and he ended up being right. And so were a few people. Connor Hughes had a couple of articles on it as well. They slow played it, but they did everything that I wanted them to do within reason. Outside of receiver yet, that's still TBD of what it is. Yep. Tyron Smith, I wanted. Let's just, so to grade it, so far I have to give him a B+. And it's all the
Agreed.
thing that's I'm waiting for is the wide receiver splash. And again, they've dipped their. I was about to do it again. They've.
I just had to bring you in on the joke. Now that you're in on the joke, tee off.
Okay. They kind of toed around a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? So there was the tip of the toe, so to speak, was happening there with the New York Jets, and being in on Keenan Allen, being involved in some of the other conversations. They're messing around with Tyler Boyd, Mike Williams obviously is another one. OBJ is one. He's had a couple.
Curtis Samuel was my guy. Curtis Samuel was the one that I thought we could put in the slot, and I always said he's a poor man's Debo, and if you could put that next to Garrett and his slants and his ability to get open quick over the middle, the end arounds, the wide receiver screens, like I'd rather him be doing those than Garrett Wilson taking those hits. When you're coming back into the linebackers and the D line, I'd rather have Curtis Samuel take those than put the ball in Garrett's hands where a DN can take his head off.
Well, that's fair, but like
OBJ, double-edged sword going to Buffalo on top of it.
Well, right. Yeah, that one was less than ideal. But again, the thing that OBJ brings to the table, toe drag swag, he's able to figure out his way of making things of that nature occur. But yeah, it's got to be a B+. The wide receiver is a missing piece for me. Let's see what happens. But Joe Douglas did the impossible. There were 2 starting voids missing on the offensive line. He created a third by releasing my good buddy Laken Tomlinson. So he had to fill 60% of a starting offensive line. And I think most people would say Joe Douglas came in June of 2019. He's entering his 6th year, so to speak, the final year of his contract. And in 5 years, he wasn't able to create a starting offensive line. How is he going to do it in a handful of months? So there was a lot of criticism of Joe Douglas saying, and disbelief. I don't know if this is going to happen here. And sorry, keep messing with the cord.
That's okay.
That he's been able to do it. Tyron Smith is the best left tackle he could have gotten. One of the best left tackles in all of football. John Simpson, I think, is your worst offensive lineman, but you could survive with him being your worst offensive lineman. Joe Tippmann's only going to be better in year 2. ABT is back at guard where he belongs. And then Morgan Moses is like that surprise that none of us had on our bingo card, and he's just super solid. Yeah. He's started.
Uh-oh. Is that me or that's you?
Nope. Am I here? Am I still here?
You're back. I can hear you. Video is still frozen. All right, you're back, I believe.
Okay. Well, that was weird. Anywho,
you're good.
Morgan Moses was the surprise of surprises. He's just super solid. He started in at least 14 games in 9 straight years. And prior to this past season, it was 16 or 17 games in 8 straight years. So he's just rock solid. So I just love the line. I think the line has a chance to be above average. It has a chance to be top 10 and beyond. It's all on health. So it's a massive B+. And I've liked some of the things they've done on defense too. Chuck Clark, super underrated. Got a starting safety for $2 million. He's coming off a torn ACL. And the interior defensive line is really fun too. I would have loved Quentin Jefferson back. We saw that story earlier today. Rich Cimini said the Jets had a chance to match, but they slow played it and didn't call him back quick enough. So he said, okay, I'm going to the Browns. So he would have been there with Kinlaw and Likey Fotu. So outside of that, I really love what we've seen from the Jets so far.
You pro or con for Clowney?
Oh, I'm a massive pro. I love Jadeveon Clowney, elite run stuffer. He's coming off a great season in pass rush, 9.5 sacks. 4 times in his career, he's been on the borderline. He's never had a double-digit sack season, but 4 times he's been close. He's had 9 or 9.5 sacks. He never lived up to the hype of a number 1 overall pick, and that's fair for those criticisms that are out there. But he's so far removed from that, I don't care about that anymore. The things I care about are the pass rush potential, and he's done it in a lot of different places, but I think he could reach a new level with the Jets. The scheme, the talent around him, Quinnen Williams, JFM, Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald's flashes, like he's going to get a lot of favorable matchups. And I've mentioned this stat a few times. Since 2014, among all edge rushers, he's top 6 in run defense grade. So no matter where he's been, he always gives you elite run defense, which is super important for the Jets, where they've struggled after Al Woods went down last year. So I don't think you could find a person more pro Jadeveon Clowney on the planet.
Okay. I said earlier in the show, and I'll bring you in on the take. If you get him, and it's say it's near the Kinlaw contract, right? I think it's a huge win because I'd rather have Clowney playing the run with Will McDonald being the pass rusher than Will McDonald playing the run and Huff being the pass rusher. So I think when you look at it from that perspective, the combination of the two and the roles that they'd be asked to play, I think helps the Jets tremendously. Now, on rundowns, you got somebody like Fatu, Quinnen, then you got Clowney and JJ on the edges, or JFM on one of those three, two of those three DNs. I think it makes the entire defense better with the run. Because now if you have Huff out there playing the wide 9, they were going to gash inside of that. They were going to run at him. Now, where are you going to run? It takes away a lot of options from what the offense wants to do. And if you're in a position where you have to run, we can answer it.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to love in general. Let's just address the obvious, that the Jets had the worst quarterback situation in the NFL last year. And in theory, you have a healthy Aaron Rodgers. This defense is going to be able to pin its ears back, and there's going to be situations where they're just licking their chops. They're a group of hyenas waiting on an opposing offense that they're down 10, and they know exactly what they have to do, and the offense knows it, the defense knows it, and that's what I want to see. We've been robbed of that. We have not seen that in the Saleh era of letting these pass rushers go, and they've got pass rushers, which also obviously feeds back into the draft point that, Robert Saleh could he could see the light in his eyes and he just starts going, oh boy, we're going to have Aaron Rodgers. Let's go, which could be the aggression in Jadeveon Clowney stuff.
That's something I constantly bring up. That's something else that we lost 4 plays in, playing with a lead. We were supposed to be up 10, 13, 17 late in games. We were supposed to be the team that was teeing off because the other team was in we have to throw mode. That got taken away. So we're getting all those sacks last year when a lot of teams weren't afraid of our offense and we're trying to run out the clock and milk it. Imagine this D-line with the 17-point lead in midway through the second quarter where the other team now has to go and we got a score mode for 2.5 quarters. We're going to have multiple games with 6, 7, 8 sacks or more because we're going to be teeing off and we're going to be fresh. Something a lot of people complain about, but we haven't seen what this D-line can do healthy when with a lead, with a healthy quarterback, and it's tee-off time.
Yeah, and the opportunistic defense on the back end. That needs to – I know Sauce didn't have all these picks, and DJ Reed had a handful. Also, when you know the passes are coming and you can trust your pass rush up front, these corners can be a little more aggressive, jumping the underneath. Sauce starts trusting his instincts and the traits, and MC2. There was a lot of dropped interception Sauce. Michael Carter II had a bunch. Even when he had them, a random made-up phantom penalty was called, and then he didn't have them. So, that's going to be another big part of the equation.
Yeah. There's 3 games that you look at last year, and you can say, holy shit, this could be happening week after week after week. It's a Kansas City game where we had that interception. It's the Denver game with the sack, fumble, scoop, score, because we brought the pressure late in the game. We knew they had a pass. We said, screw it. We're going to do something out of the blue that we normally don't do, was send an extra rusher. And then in the Philly game, Adams jumps to the pass. They had to throw. We jump it again. So when the defense has to make a play, they're making it. They're getting there. They're getting home. If you have to throw the ball against the New York Jets and you have to go the length of the field, you're going to be in trouble. Not many teams are going to be able to do it week in and week out. So
I like our chances.
I love it. I love it. I've coached defense. My son's Pop Warner team in 2019. We went to the Pop Warner Super Bowl, and I ran the defense. And I would tell these kids all the time that, we won games 30-0. It was 30 by halftime. We had to put in the lesser talented kids. We couldn't play our guys. But I told them in big moments, in big games, I want to be on the field. And we won a game against Temecula. No offense, Sean McAteer. I know you're from there. From Temecula Valley in California. It was a 13-12 game. We had the lead for the entire fourth quarter, and we had to stop them 3 separate times from going down, and we ended the game on the final play on a sack. And I lost my mind. I lost my gosh darn bananas. And that's what I want for the Jets. When I'm at a game and I'm in the crowd, I want the lead in the fourth quarter. I want to pay my money to affect the outcome of the game by losing my voice, going nuts, and letting the other team know you're not coming in our stadium, you're not coming in my home, and you're not getting a win. There's no way. We're not allowing it. This is why we pay the PSLs. This is why we get there 8 o'clock in the morning to tailgate. This is why we deal with 5 freaking rain games in one season. We're doing it because eventually we're going to be what week 1 was with Buffalo, the loudest stadium in the NFL, game after game after game after game. I can't wait for it.
I just want that attitude back. I want that attitude on defense. I want that nasty on offense. That's what I want, the bully ball on both sides of the ball, and then to let the other team know it. So that's an important piece of the puzzle for me.
Yeah. Am I holding you up? If you have to go, just say the word.
I've made a commitment to this program. Nick, how dare you?
You're
trying to kick me off.
You're the first person to commit to me in a long time. I'm touched.
Wow. Well, you got to take it when you can. That's important.
Yeah, exactly. I'm judgment-free zone. What's your thoughts about the offensive line possibly transitioning from the outside zone to more smash mouth, knock the shit out of you, blow you back?
Well, I mean, if we're just going to be blunt about it, outside of what was the maybe I'm going to mess up the year. So let's see. So we had 1920 Gase, 2021, 2022. I'm trying to think. One of our years of Saleh, we were solid on the line. That had to have been 21, I guess. But my brain, all my years are mixing up. Anywho, like for the most part, obviously, unfortunately, this offensive scheme, specifically on the line, as all these questions are coming in, on the line just hasn't worked. So I think I know in a moment like this, Saleh obviously wanted to keep Keith Carter. That's a guy that he banged the table for. And a lot of pressure this offseason from players, fans, everywhere to make a change. And Saleh pounded the table and said he ain't going anywhere. And he was, quote unquote, going down with the ship, his choice at guy. And a lot of people asked why. And it seems like if that all is to be true, based on all of these new additions and where it seems like they're leaning, it looks like there's an adapt or die Moneyball quote that could be used here for old Keith Carter and his, in a lot of respects, because obviously if this fails, everyone's getting fired. So this is Keith Carter putting his ass out there as well, which I respect. Crew for Dark Soldier. Appreciate you, buddy, being in here. And everybody else, it's a lively chat. I love it. So I think that's another important piece to the puzzle is that Keith Carter knows his ass on the line, and I know everyone hates him right now, but let's see how he responds. And plus, he's obviously going to have a ton of talent. The injuries couldn't have been easy for what they're dealing with, and the Jets have not really figured out that piece of the puzzle, and hopefully they can figure out this year. So, yeah, the flipping of it, if it's not working, you have to adapt. And I love the new talent in here. I love that attitude. That reminds me of the ground and pound, the glory days of a decade plus ago when the Jets were last to the playoffs with Rex Ryan. They did have that attitude that if you touch our quarterback, we're going to mess you up. There's going to be that there's not just this passive, oh, he got hit and the offensive line isn't running over. And this is beyond scheme. Obviously, this is attitude. This is a mentality that you have to have on the line. And I hope once you see that, I think it's infectious to the rest of the team.
Yeah. Just like defense, you can knock the snot out of people. You can sack them. You can get them off the field on third down. That same type of energy can be brought to a team and a stadium when you're grinding out and you're converting third downs and you're handing the ball off and you're blowing the other team back and you got somebody like Simpson stomping around and that energy that he will bring. I want badass motherfuckers on my offensive line. I want guys who knock the snot out of you, laugh at you on the ground, go back to the huddle and yell at the sideline, let's do it again. Run behind me again. That's what I want. As much as it's nice to have nice guys, and Lakin is one of the nicest guys in the world. You love Lakin Tomlinson. The man doesn't have that aspect of his game, right? He's more of at his prime, he was more of a technician, and he was never the road grader. I want road graders. I want 3-4 lanes of road graders like it's on the New Jersey Turnpike. I want everybody getting blown back 4 or 5 yards. Pause. I know what I said. I want that. Tyron Smith has a nasty streak in him. He's a technician, but he's also got a nasty streak. When he gets his hands on you, he will drive you back and out of the way and make you eat dirt. Simpson will crush you when he gets a hold of you. Tittman saw a little bit of a technician last year, hasn't had that nasty streak yet. But that can develop with confidence and experience, right? When you start to believe in yourself more, you could start to play with your chest out. When you see the pancakes on film, you could start to have that persona. AVT, we know he plays with passion. We know he's screaming and yelling and going nuts and celebrating when Breece breaks a long run. And Morgan Moses is kind of like a silent assassin, right? He doesn't do the rah-rah stuff, but he will knock the snot out of you. Ruckert, we know, can knock the snot out of people and knock them on their ass. I'm excited, man. Breece 2K. Hashtag Breece 2K.
Yeah. And look at last year. How did he, and so much credit, gets overlooked, unfortunately. Breece Hall played in all 17 games last year after blowing out his ACL the year before. I don't think anyone had that on their bingo card. I certainly didn't have 40-plus carries in his final game against the Patriots on my bingo card. I really wish that didn't happen, but that's neither here nor there, I suppose. But I'm just so excited that he's going to get to all these guys, quite frankly, Garrett, Breece, Conklin, all these guys to get a chance to play with not just above average quarterback play. Aaron friggin' Rodgers. It's going to high tide rises all boats. I'm so excited for Garrett. He deserves it. Breece deserves it. These kids deserve it. And getting their chance. So I'm so fired up because I made this decision. I had, what is it? I'm going to butcher it now. I had the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th overall pick, whatever it was in fantasy. And I knew exactly who I was taking. And I took Garrett Wilson. And there was 2 receivers on the board. It was Tyreek Hill or Garrett Wilson. And I said, I know what I'm doing. There was a little hesitation because I wanted to get both, but I said, I can't afford to lose Garrett because I know what Garrett's going to be. And I took him proudly and I ended up winning our fantasy championship for my radio league. So very proud of that.
Awesome.
And I can't wait to take him again. I don't know where I'm going to pick yet, but I can't wait to take Garrett again because he is the right kind of dude. And it's good to have those kind of people on this team representing us. Sauce, the same way. I feel so passionate about him and Garrett. This organization's going in the right direction. They got the right people.
Yeah. And I love the proud pun. Thank you. It's right up there with the toe puns. It's good.
Thank
Always
you.
make that happen. I'm going to throw you a speed round right now.
Okay.
All right. I know you and I are very similar because we get thrown a question and we're words guys. We can talk. We can give you all different aspects. I want to do a speed round with Boy Green.
Okay. All right.
The New York Jets are on the clock. The selection is in at 10. Give me your reaction to each player that I'm going to reel off to you.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Joe Alt.
Unbelievable. Bang. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Roma Dunze.
He's still on the board? Wahoo! I'm just losing it. I'm losing.
Nice. Brock Bowers.
Wow. Wow, that's going to go viral on social media.
All right. Quarterback 4, whoever it might be.
Like maniacal laughter, a jaw drop of like, and then go, because again, we talked about it's speed round, but we went about it earlier, right? You feel everything. Doesn't that set up for a very interesting scenario?
Twitter.
So that would just be jaw drop looking around the room. Exactly.
You go right to
it
Twitter,
would be jaw drop
deactivate
looking around the
account,
room,
72
though.
hours.
Unbelievable. Oh, yeah.
Jared
Sorry.
Verse.
Laughter. I would just.
Okay. All right.
That's it. It would just be laughter in a fun way. I really love Jared Verse. He's such a talented player, but a lot of us have written off a lot of these guys, but that would be just laughter.
Trade up to number 5 for your neighbors.
Oh my God. The funny thing is that, in 2009, when the Jets traded from 17 to 5, we knew what they were trading up for. It was Mark Sanchez. Of course, back in those days, they showed the camera Mark Sanchez putting on a Jets hat. That was kind of a giveaway.
Yeah.
But they move up to 5. We go, oh shit, what did they just move up for? And then because nowadays they don't show the cameras, so it's coming up. But to your point, neighbors, I'm losing my shit. He is so fucking explosive. Excuse my Guatemalan. Putting him next to Garrett. We have the best 1-2 young wide receiver punch in the NFL for the next decade.
Here's why I saved that take for last. Okay.
Yeah.
I said the other day on Friday night, I went live when I got home from the basketball games that I work.
Yeah.
And after the excitement died down with Tyron Smith, I said, we were told it's all in.
Mm-hmm.
All in to me is not waiting at number 10 and see who falls to us. All in to me is trade the fuck up, go get Harrison, go get Neighbors, give up the number 2 next year, give up the number 4 this year, one of the 4s, give up both 4s and next year's 2, and move up and show everybody that we're going all in. Because the days of drafting a wide receiver and waiting to mid-year 2 for them to be a contributor are gone. These guys now are so athletic. They're so gifted. They're so skilled. They're so fluid with their routes. They're making impacts from day one. You want to be all in? Trade the fuck up. Go all in. Show all of the Jets fans, we're not waiting. We're not seeing who falls to us. We are going and getting our guy. We are going to get an impact player. We are going to get somebody that you can all be proud of. Pawn. What do you think about that? Like, I think that Joe is going to shock the world on draft night.
Well, first off, don't tell Dallas Cowboys fans about all in. They may have a very different definition based on this offseason from what Jerry Jones has said about all in. If I'm moving up, yo, that's definitely true. If I'm moving up, I don't know if this player's available in your 5 scenario. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the safest player in the draft. And I don't mean safe like, oh, wow, he's a solid Tyler Boyd. No, that's not what I'm saying. He is a superstar. He has, his father's a Pro Football Hall of Famer from here locally in Syracuse, obviously going to college here. Like, he's been around Hall of Famers his entire life. And his statistics are insane. He has the right aptitude. He has the attitude. He has everything. If he somehow, which is possible, you go QB 1, 2, 3, someone trades up for 4 or whatever the scenario is, he could be there at 5 and the Jets could give the crazy offer to go get him. Marvin and a couple of Ohio State boys, Marvin Harrison Jr. and Garrett Wilson. Aaron Rodgers is just going to be beside himself. He's never thrown a touchdown to one first-round receiver, let alone multiple. With
and now we're going to have debates of which guy gets the first one.
Exactly, which is a good prop betting for all those out there. So, yeah, trading up for Neighbors, Marvin Harrison, whoever, I agree with you. Because that's the thing when I saw some of the comments about trading down, if all the guys are gone, you trade down because, again, you're in the same sphere of talent. But if one of the big boys is there, I don't care what someone's calling and offering. This is all in. You get all in pieces that can help you win a championship right now because that is the definition of a Tyron Smith signing. He is 33 years old and one of the best left tackles in football. That isn't a 5-year down the road play. Yeah. That's a right now play. And there's nothing more right now than that. The only hesitation with trading up is I'm holding on for dear life for that 2025 first. It would have to be some sort of crazy ass thing for me to be willing to be able to give that up. And I love Marvin Harrison, so that would be very tempting. But outside of that, I'm willing to probably give up almost anything else within existence to make that move. But I would lose my crap because I love the draft and I love excitement. I love tantalizing nature. That would be beyond. And that would be, to me, the verbatim definition of all in. That's if you've kind of said it with Tyron Smith. But, I mean, you're really doubling down on your statement. You're telling your team, you're telling your fans, you're telling the rest of the league, the world on notice. Hey, buddy. Yeah, we're all in. We just pushed all our chips in the middle of the table. Ball's in your court, pal. Whoever that is. Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, NFL, fans, everything. I love it.
You remember where you were if it happens. When that nugget, that banana got dropped.
I love it. I've heard that from nowhere so far. So I love that.
I try to be different. I try to be logical with my takes, but then I also try to look outside the box when it comes to this team and think of an avenue that no one else has thought of. Wow. I pounded my fist down, said we are going to get 3 starters on the offensive line in free agency. And I was laughed at. Everyone's like, there's not 3 starters available. Where are you going to get? No one factored in Morgan Moses. No one factored in Tyron Smith coming here for $6.5 million. Oh, and can we put to bed the notion that Aaron Rodgers is going to take the VP from RFK? Because Tyron Smith did not come to the New York Jets to block for Tyrod Taylor, Zach Wilson, or a 4th-round quarterback. So can we just put that to bed too? That was another thing I came out with Friday night. That's done. That rumor's dead.
Ridiculous.
Tyron Smith didn't get a call from Joe Douglas and said, "Oh yeah, let me call Aaron Rodgers and see what he's up to." And they're like, "Oh no, he's accepted a VP bid, but we're still going to offer you this to come block for somebody we don't know who's going to be the quarterback. Are you in?" He's like, "Sure, I'll go to the Jets. That sounds like a great plan." No, that's a wrap. That's a wrap.
I think you're right. By the way, how would you judge if they do move up for Neighbors, Marvin Harrison, or whoever? How would you judge it if I gave you 3 choices to pick from? Would you grade it as a shiner, a super shiner, or a supreme shine? How would you how would you grade that of the 3?
Marvin Harrison is the supreme shiner.
Okay, very nice.
Neighbors is the super shiner.
Okay.
And Alt is the third name?
Yeah.
I would rather Odunze be the shiner, but in this scenario, Alt would be the shiner. I think if we go up, I think it's weapon. I think it's if we learned anything from watching this offense last year, there was a lot of times where other guys couldn't get open. We played against Miami. They played bump and run. They got in our face. Ramsey said, "I'm taking Garrett Wilson." And the day was difficult. Zach didn't have a lot of guys to throw to. I know the line is shit, but when you don't respect the line and you don't respect the weapons, you're going to have no space and you're going to have blitz after blitz after blitz. You want to try blitzing the Jets with this line? You want to try blitzing the Jets with Harrison on one side, Wilson on the other? Have a good day. Good luck.
Let's roll.
To you. I love watching the highlights. I love watching Boy Green at 7:30 on Monday morning losing his gosh darn bananas because we put up 45 points on you.
I can't wait. I want to be ready.
I want to score. Even in an era right now in the NFL where offense is down. And as much as we love the offense and we know all the names, the Super Bowl was 19-19 at the end of regulation. If you have a defense like we have and you could score 25 or more on a consistent basis, if we have the same NFL next year as we had in 2023, scoring 25 with a defense like what we have, it's going to be a heck of a lot of W's. Going to be a lot.
That I agree with. Right, there was a record out there. If the Jets would have scored at least 18 points in all these games, it'd be like undefeated or some crazy number with that defense. So they could have made a lot of things happen, and now we don't have to think or wait or prognosticate. It is with Aaron Rodgers coming back. I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, and I want to thank everybody for hanging out. I know you guys are active in the chat. I'm sorry, I'm caught up in the moment here. I'm happy to have Paul here on the show. So you guys know how much I try to get your comments on, but this is a moment. This is two beards lost in the night.
That's right. I love it. I respect
I'm
the beard game.
I'm gonna reveal. I reveal a lot about my personal life. I just hit a year sober last Sunday, so I talk about my life. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. I said some crazy shit today on the phone to my friend. I was talking to her, and I was like, I'm thinking I might shave the beard. And then she was like, "Why would you want to do that?" I was like, "Forgive me. I'm not drinking. I don't know what I said. I take it back." I'm like, I don't know. It was a moment where sometimes you say something to see how it sounds, and then when it comes out of your mouth, you're like, "Oh no, I got to take that back." That was that moment.
Well,
so
it's better to take back the words than to shave it off and try to put back on the beard hairs on the face. So,
it's a lot easier.
I suggest that moving forward. Yeah, right.
So let me ask you about the state of the NFL.
Oh, please.
Let me ask you, who are the teams aside from Kansas City that you're looking at with some of the moves that have been made in free agency, just in the AFC, that weren't there last year, that could be coming up with us? We have expectations to get our name into the tournament. What are some of the teams that you're looking at who could fall off? Like, I think Miami's fallen off. You lose Wilkins, you lose Hunt, you're losing guys in the trenches. You're going to fall off. You got to be good in the trenches, especially in the AFC East, right? Even though New England isn't good, New England can play in the trenches, right, on defense. You're losing a guy like Hunt, that's going to sting. You're losing a guy like Wilkins, that's going to sting even more. So they're the team that's fallen for me big time, and we're the team that's rising. Who else do you look at in the AFC and be like, I got my eye on you?
Yeah, I mean, I have to start. I know we're picking ones that aren't the obvious, but I just have to give a tip of the cap to this team because I just feel like they added quite frankly, the missing piece in a lot of ways is the Baltimore Ravens. Derrick Henry, he is a Baltimore Raven type. He came out of the womb of Baltimore Raven, but he was misplaced at the wrong house for the first whatever years of his career. Now he's in Tennessee. So I love that in Baltimore. Obviously, the Bengals finished in obviously a really awesome division where everyone was over 500. The Bengals were last in the AFC North last year, and they had a winning record. Joe Burrow's coming back, hell-bent, and they were able to keep T. Higgins.
A little bit of a difference maker, right? He's a little bit of a difference
That Jake Browning guy, I know people were going crazy for, but that Joe
his
Burrow
girlfriend
kid,
in the swimsuit outfits was fun thing, but
yeah, for sure. But obviously, I think Cincinnati has to get its love, and I'm curious to see they switch out Joe Mixon, obviously bring in Zach Moss. I'm curious to see the difference that makes in the running game. So Cincinnati obviously has to get a lot of love. Houston, I know they won the division last year, but man, they're doing a lot of work. I'm curious. They were in the Keenan Allen sweepstakes too. What other moves are they set to make? They kicked themselves out of the first round for Minnesota, have a lot of other assets. They're going to try to do a meat and potatoes volume shooting in the draft. That to me is really curious. Again, it's a quarterback driven league. CJ Stroud's fun. And obviously the other last place team I got to bring up in the AFC West is the LA Chargers. They've blown up their receiver room, so I don't know what the plan is there. That'll be interesting to watch, but Harbaugh's a winner, and everywhere he's been, he's won. So I love Harbaugh. Herbert's really good, but he's overrated because he hasn't been able to deliver in the moments that matter most. Can Harbaugh get that out of him? I'll be curious. They got a lot of older veterans. It's an older team. You got Bosa, you got Mack, you got Derwin James in the back end. You got a lot of dudes. You got a lot of big names. That's another one. They finished last in the division. They're going to be in the thick of it too. So yeah, those are a couple. Bengals last place, Chargers last place. Those are two, and then one that was already on top that just got better. I think is Baltimore. It's a lot of fun. I want to see what they do at wide receiver, but overall, if we're talking just AFC, those are teams that stand out.
Yeah, I know we've taken 40% of Baltimore's line, but they got Daniel Falele, big monster. I think he's 6'10", right? He comes out like the Giant Gonzalez, old WWE reference.
Yeah,
Undertaker get WrestleMania 9 or 10. I think they wrestled. That was Giant Gonzalez. Yeah,
like
Giant
Gonzalez. Cool. All right, very nice.
I'm an old school wrestling head. I don't like this current crap, this PG crap, but they're starting to go away from it a little bit. I like that. But their strength is their offensive line, right? And they've always been able to trade back, find guys that fit their mold. So even though they don't have a top pick, which tells us as Jet fans, it's possible to build a team and stay an elite team when you're not picking in the top 10 every year.
Of course.
So one of the questions I saw in the chat from Johnny Jimenez, I'll throw this to you first. What would the trade back scenario look like for us? Who would you get? Wait, is that off of somebody else's question?
Yeah, it must be because Sam Hartman. That wouldn't be a choice in round one, I'm afraid. But you also didn't address round one as a trade back scenario.
Johnny, do me a favor. Clarify that question for us.
Yeah, please do, Johnny. In the meantime, I know that was a topic with Rich Cimini. He was with Anita Marks today on ESPN Radio up here in New York, 98.7. And he said from things he's hearing that the Jets want to trade back. And he talked about being still inside the top 15, so like a slide from 10 to 14 or 10 to 15, which would give him some more mid-round compensation, allow him to get into the second and third wave tiers of whether wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU or Tyler Guyton, Mims, some of those second or third tier offensive tackles. That could be interesting. Or Brock Bowers, I suppose. It could be the slide back is maybe still not taken for all our Brock Bowers people in the audience. And then you dip at your offensive line in rounds 2 and 3. So those are possible. Quarterback, also, which was another Cimini nugget, he believes 100% they're getting another quarterback, and he thinks it's going to be on day 3 of the draft. So Hartman, maybe he's there. I know people are polarizing on Hartman. My dad's a diehard Notre Dame fan. He's interestingly talented. He feels to me like a poor man, I guess longer-haired Alex Smith. It seems like he's a floor play. I don't know what his ceiling is in the NFL, but maybe that's all the Jets need, quite frankly, because if Rodgers goes down or Tyrod went down and all of a sudden you plug in Sam Hartman, he's a guy that could keep a ship afloat. I don't know if he can be the guy that rises everyone to a Super Bowl, but maybe you don't need that on a team like this. So he could be an intriguing option for the Jets. I obviously saw him down there at the Senior Bowl with Ulbrich and some of the other coaches down there.
What's your thoughts on Cincinnati possibly trading up and maybe that be the team that goes after Bowers? And maybe we trade back with them.
Well, that would be second round range. So they're at 18, I believe. Jaguars are at 17. And I'm pretty sure that's the order off the top of my head. And the Bengals would be the one. If you're looking at the NFL draft value chart, the part, according to the chart, where you can trade back and still get a second is 18 Cincinnati. So they would be the team, or if they're moving up for like a Joe Alt or Fashanu or something like that from one of the long-term tackles, because they just lost Jonah Williams. So offensive tackle could certainly be on the board for them. They'd probably be looking for right. They had Mekhi Becton in for a visit. So right tackle is probably their play. So they could be moving up for one of those two and have them flip. That's a possibility. But sure, that's where the Jets could get their second and probably more. The draft value chart is a guideline. It's not 100%. So it would give you the second, but maybe you could juice even more out of the orange for a surprising guy to still be there at 10, take advantage of him, go to 18. You're the Jets. You get a bunch of other picks, maybe get their second and third, and then all of a sudden now you're working. Now you've got operating money. They have 7 draft picks heading into this thing. That would give them 8, 9, 10 maybe of picks that they can work with. And the more lottery tickets you have, the more opportunities you had to bring in some talent. So, yeah, Cincinnati, they're not normally a team historically that trades up in the first round, but neither was Pittsburgh, and they traded up for Devin Bush a bunch of years ago. So sometimes you can
they traded up for Broderick Jones last year.
Yeah, sure. That was another one. So it's all, you make history when you make history. You break rules when rules are broken. So I think that can launch it in for things to happen. So never say never.
All right. I'm trying to figure out how to word this one.
Okay.
All right. Give me a team, or give me a couple teams, or even a player. Okay. With the Jets picking at 10 and the run on offensive players that we expect to go, almost every single mock has 8 of the first 9 being offense, with Atlanta going defense, right? I think Dallas Turner is the consensus that we see. Now, if you're the Jets and you're looking to trade back, you can essentially control the draft with who trades up for cornerback 1, DT 1, edge 2, guys that would normally go in the top 5 of a regular draft. Could all be there at 10. What are there some teams that you're hearing rumors about, or that you think like, hey, they might want to come get corner 1? Jacksonville might want to come get corner 1. Indy might want to come get DT 1, right? Like, we could be the feeding frenzy where Joe Douglas could be on the phone taking multiple offers and having these teams fight with one another for the biggest offer for the Jets. What have you heard anything, or you prognosticating anything? You want to throw down the gauntlet here tonight? Do it.
Yeah, you've mentioned a couple of them. I think Indy for corner, that would be on their board. Now, there was another team for DT, but I think based on other moves, that is no longer in their thought process. I think Minnesota needs a DT, but after the Texans move, I think we all know the inevitable move to 3 with New England for the blockbuster offer of 11, 23, a 2, and maybe a 2 in 2025. We'll see. Maybe they still have to include, probably with that drop, they probably still have to include the 2025 first 2 to move into the quarterback conversation. But they were in the DT market, so that also would have been, are you going Byron Murphy there potentially? For corner 1. A lot of people are split on who corner 1 is. Maybe Terrion Arnold is the pick for, get the corner out of Alabama if you're Indy and you move up for that, because they dramatically need corner help. Those are the 2, because I think that is a compelling case. Well, it's all offense to get, as I mentioned, the Saleh, conversation in the war room where he goes, we could have the first overall pick in the defensive draft. You can make that same sales pitch to a bunch of teams that are looking for that defensive edge to bring some juice to the table. So
where they don't have to trade the top 5, now they only have to trade to 10, where you're getting a top 5 talent defensively at 10, which is kind of unheard of. With 1 year, we got cornerback 2, who essentially ended up being cornerback 1, at 4. So Stingley went, then Sauce, then Thibodeau. 3 players went right in a row on defense there. And now you're looking at, and I think, didn't the top 5, wasn't it Walker, Hutchinson, Stingley, Sauce, Thibodeau? Weren't the first 5? That was the year with Will Levis. There was no quarterbacks taken. So the first 5 picks were defense before Ike Ekwonu was the first offensive player at 6, and then Evan Neal at 7.
Yeah, let me pull back up that draft, because KT may have been.
He was 5.
Yeah, I think you're right, but
it went. Jacksonville took Walker, and then the Lions took Hutchinson.
Yeah, that's right.
We
Yep.
took Stingley. We took Sauce. Giants took Thibodeau, and then Ike Ekwonu went 6 to the Panthers.
And Evan Neal went 7.
Giants had Evan Neal 7.
And then it started going all offense, right? Because Drake London, Charles Cross, Garrett Wilson, Olave, Jamison Williams. Yeah, then there was a run of offense. That's right. First 5 were all defenders. So, yeah, I mean, I think all of those.
Now you can get that type of talent at 10. I think teams would be chomping to call the Jets and say, hey, take this too. Even if they got to overpay to beat the competitors, we could be in a position to control the draft there.
Yeah, so Indianapolis, and the other one I would say is just New Orleans, because we don't know what's going to happen with Marshawn Lattimore. He could be traded, and then all of a sudden you'd have to replace him. So he's another one to keep an eye out for. But probably Indy would be my number one team if they're trading up defense. They're probably the number one team that jumps out.
Okay. Any surprise moves that you see the Jets possibly making? We've talked about Mike Williams, that we're thinking about wide receiver. Is there anything, a DJ Reed extension? Is there anything that you're hearing that you want to drop here?
Oh, I 100% will. And this is one that a lot of people have written off, but to me, in no circumstances is it written off until it is written off. And that is the Davante Adams trade. You talk about this all-in mentality. You talk about getting Tyron Smith. The next player is calling the Raiders and saying, all right, let's stop playing around. What's it going to take for Davante? Let's be real. He's not catching passes from Gardner Minshew, Fu Manchu's ass. He's not doing it from Aiden O'Connell. Like, let's be serious. We all know.
Let's be real. On this channel, we have nothing against anybody with facial hair, but just the quarterback play we're digging at, not the facial hair.
Specifically, yes.
We're pro. We're pro facial hair here.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yes, absolutely, I am. And I think Davante Adams is pro having an actual quarterback throwing him the football, from my understanding. So, that's the call. That's the call. If the Jets are really getting froggy, they call the Raiders. They say, let's be honest with yourself. Look at the AFC West. You're a loser. You're not going to win. Davante Adams is an expiring asset. He's getting older. He's going to, while he's fine, and he actually had it down here by his crazy ass standards. He's a guy that you can maximize the fact that you're not going to win Raiders next year. So trade Davante now while his stock is as high as it can be, because it's only going to keep going down as he gets older. So sell it off now. Get a nice asset, move on with your lives. Jets get Davante Adams, and let's roll, baby. And it's Davante getting his number 17. It's Garrett 5. Aaron Rodgers reunited. That's the
okay.
Yep. Sorry, I keep losing my stuff here.
I like it. It fits with the mentality, right? Where we're not going to take our chance with a rookie doing it. And the tampering charges would be filed immediately. They'll say Garrett Wilson changed his number a year ago. That's how long this has been in the books. But if you're Pierce and you're taking over in Oakland and you don't have the quarterback, maybe we trade you number 10 for your number 2, with it, where we still have a pick, and now you're basically chalking in or writing in Davante Adams as the 10, but you still have a number 2 now to take a project offensive lineman, which I think we'd all be okay with. That fits the all-in mold, right?
That it would. It would.
That's interesting if you're Rodgers, because Davante's your wife. And Garrett Wilson last year was like your new, hot, younger version. And it's going to be interesting to see the target share, the red zone. We know he's got the familiarity, and we know he's comfortable with Davante. Watching who he goes to in certain situations and how he distributes the ball would be a Jets drama in its own, right?
Yeah, I think, in some respects, people could go, ooh, that could be toxic. They could be fighting. To me, I see it the other way, that, and Connor Hughes loves this one, iron sharpens iron. I think they're competing against each other, saying, I'm getting this touchdown. And then when they do, it's playful. Hey, you just see that, buddy? Top that. Yeah. And there's a competitive
I'm going to hand you the ball. You spike this one.
Yes, right. I foresee not the issues, but the brother energy. I'm in a family of a bunch
Okay.
of brothers, and that's the crap we give each other of trying to one up athletically each other. So in the same form and fashion, that's the motivational things I see from that perspective. That would be terrific. I think there'd be a seniority, Garrett respecting Devontae and what he's accomplished, but also at the same time, hey, I'm not too bad either. Again, all of that would to me would be gravy. You know what Devontae it is, and even all the receivers I feel great about. Marvin, who I've called the safest player in the draft. Rome Odunze is spectacular. Malik, who's explosive. They're rookies, and there's transitions. Some people are instant, some people aren't. You want to know what's not a transition? Devontae Adams. You know exactly what he is the moment he walks in. And there's obviously that built-in chemistry. He's had with Rodgers for a decade, and you can't put a price on that. So that would be the compelling all-in move to make to really push your chips in.
I like it. I like it. I gotta head to bed. I got a big day tomorrow. I got a lot of stuff I have to do. I would love to talk ball with you all night long.
Yeah.
But I got a big checklist of things that I have to accomplish tomorrow. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm sure everyone knows where to find you, but please throw all your info out there. Let everybody know.
Of course, it's at Boy Green 25 at Boy Green 25 everywhere. So you guys can follow me on all social media, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere else. We do a daily show. It's Boy Green Daily every morning at 7:30. And tomorrow morning, in a handful of hours, Dom C will be joining us, and we're doing a 7-round Jets mock draft post Tyron Smith signing and post Morgan Moses, I suppose, for that matter, too, because Joe Douglas has been doing work this week. And what changes? What's the debate? Some of the debates we're just having now. Let's do it live with a mock draft simulator and a draft analyst. Let's walk it all out together. It's going to be spectacular. So I'm fired up. I love mock drafts. I love the draft season, and we're in the thick of it right now, and it's exciting. So we'll be back in a handful of hours for that. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Awesome. And what a coincidence. We get to thank Dom C for not being able to make the show here tonight. He's a president of the baseball league in town. He had some meetings he had to attend to. And that's when I was like, I'm going to hit up Boy Green and see if he can do it. So what a small, wild circle the Jets content creator world is. So Paul, thank you. It was an absolute honor. This is like a content creator, like bucket list thing to have you come on my channel. I appreciate it. Go Jets, and let's do it again sometime soon, man.
Okay. Yeah. First time, hopefully not the last time. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
No, you've earned the right to be invited back. I think you've shown enough talent. I think you might have something here with this content creator thing.
I'll give it a whirl. Thank you. Thank you for kind of pushing me, nudging me in that direction.
Yeah. You might have a little bit of charisma for it, and I think you got something there. Another 10 years and it might all come together for you. But in all serious, thank you, man. It's absolutely awesome having you here. And I know the chat was excited, and I thank you so much, man. Everybody, wake up early tomorrow. Late night with this beard, early morning with that beard. Do it right. Have fun, kick ass, and have a great draft in the morning, brother. Thank you so much.
Yep. God bless. Thanks, everybody.
God bless, bro. Take care. Holy shit, that was awesome. That was awesome. That was really cool. I didn't want to say who it was when I told you guys earlier. But yeah, I kind of had that working. There was no guarantee he could make it. To Ricky, I'm sorry, but when he popped in, I got fanboyish. We got Boy Green, we got fanboy. I got a little excited about that. So thank you. Oh, Boomtown, thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's a pretty cool comment. Thank you. So everyone, I'm excited. That was a fun show. That was awesome. I'm like on cloud 9 right now. Fat guy floating. It's a big cloud. I'm a big guy. So everybody, thank you so much to all the new subs. Thank you to Knob, the first of hopefully many channel members. Thank you so much. Everyone, have a great night. No, Scott, if you go back and watch the opening of the show, I had a sport coat on, and I did like a thing from the Oval Office. I don't want to tell you. Go watch the opening of the show, and you'll see. But that's why. That's why I did it. I came out with a press conference, a State of the Union of the proud New York Jet fan, and I hope you like it. Don't worry about the microphone being on mute. Everything I did, I forgot that. I showered, put on a shirt, put on a sport coat, downloaded a new wallpaper in the back. Hey, I'll show you while you're here if you didn't see it. Oh, where are you? Where are you? I came in here from the Oval Office with the State of the Union of the New York Jets, with a proud New York Jet channel. So go watch it, enjoy it. But my dumbass had it on mute. The chat had a good laugh. So everybody, thank you so much. Tonight was a cool night. Chat was awesome. I tried to get as many of your comments on in the first hour. No, it's not. It's just a little. It took a little of the beard oil. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I like green bean. You got the roller. Sometimes, it gets a little humid at times in the house. The beard starts to curl up. You got to keep the beard looking good. No gel. Just a little of the hair, the beard product into the hair to kind of hold it in place. But everybody, thank you so much. Wednesday night, Jets Chaos. If you're not familiar with Jeremy, you should be. Goes on with Green Bean all the time. Jets Chaos. Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. He should be back from New York by then and back on the West Coast. If anything happens Monday or Tuesday, come check in right here. I'll be on. And to everybody, thank you. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you've been here from subscriber 10 or now with monetization and memberships, I appreciate all of you. It's a great time hanging out with you, getting to know you. I will make up to the rest of you. Johnny, I know you popped in on the stream to come in. You get on a lot. Don't worry. You'll be on here plenty. But to everybody else, thank you. And as always, be loud, be proud. New York Jets fans, go Jets.
And now, welcome to Pride and Chaos.
Welcome to the darkest year of our adventures. Oh, yeah!
And now, give it up for Jeremy and Nick.
Now you scared me. And as usual, Nick is wrong.
Why are you the way that you are? God, I can't stand you.
Let's go